Oh, good Lord. Doing some great work though. That's some really great work. And yeah, you were right. Yeah, Radix has come a long way. She does a great job down there.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She did so good.
She's been doing a fantastic job. Yep. Yeah, and for somebody that was so nervous to seem so comfortable when she's talking to those folks, it really that's huge. All right, come on, D-Live. Pick it up. Let's go. I get the little circle going on here. All right, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Looks like we're live. Okay, well, hey, good morning, live chat and D-Live, and the Twitch folks are out there. Now I got to find room for the Twitch chat again. Minor inconvenience, but we're glad to have Twitch back with us here. So y'all just glad you're with us now again for a while until they pull something again. Who knows what's going to happen next? But we'll deal with it just like everything else. We deal with it. And I see Bakfa's out there, D. Landry, Ronald Harmon, Gail MJ, good morning to you. Mom Bear. Hey, I'm waving back at you there, Mom Bear. Yeah. Foth 67. And Gal MJ waving. Hey, good morning. There was the cutest little emoji the other day. It was a little yellow. It was a Pepe. Looked like he was in a little yellow, like a kid's one piece, a baby's one piece sleeper, and he was running. It was cute. All right. And Appy Writer, good morning to you. Well, folks, you know what this is. It's a Magnum Monday, right? So, are y'all ready? I hope so. So get your coffee, get your donuts, get your 2 scoops, sprinkles, whatever it is you need, and buckle them up, kids, because you got a Magnum Monday coming at you. All aboard.
Be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. The American dream.
No fake news, no more lies. Build the wall, drain the swamp dry. We're on a roll, we ain't done yet. Promises are made, promises kept on the Trump train. Get on board the Trump train. We need
and that's what's happening. It's all happening. It's all the American dream.
Headed your way on the Trump train. God bless the
The 2020 election is about one thing. What's it about? It's about you.
Well, the left says it's free. Take yours away. They run up the bills. We gotta pay. But jobs are coming back. We're picking up steam. God and families. The American dream on the Trump train. Get on board the Trump train. We need more on the Trump train. Heading your way on the Trump train. God bless the USA. We're too far gone forever. Looking back, yeah, we pray to God we never run out of track. Yeah. On the Trump train, get on board the Trump train. We need for more on the Trump train. Headed your way, Trump train. God bless the USA. Get on board the Trump train. We need for more on the Trump train. Headed your way on the Trump train. God bless the USA. Yeah, it's headed your way.
We are making America strong again. We are making America safe again. And we are making America great again. Thank you.
beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, ooh, for purple mountain, for
mighty Jimmy Hunters. We should hang some antlers on there.
Turn it up, Patriots. It's a Magnum Monday.
You can't pull the wool over my eyes anymore. I know what you're doing. I never saw the situation coming. That's for sure. That bad the darker growing. Can't own me, control me. I'm an independent soul. No separate, not in a plate I roll. Can't have me, degrade me, emotional destruction. So what now? Stone me, don't judge me on the win. 'Cause you'll never win. I'm sovereign. You can't pull the rug under my feet. There's the door. Know where this is going. You think you're a God-fearing guy. Your chauvinism showing. Can't own me, control me. I'm an independent soul. Not for sale, for rent. Not in the plate I roll. You can't have me, degrade me. Emotional destruction. So what now? Stone me. Don't judge me on the win. 'Cause you'll never win. I'm sovereign. I've been passive for too long. Time to get my armor on. Build myself up strong. Show my inner strength. Take my cool sword of light. Fight for everything that's right in the struggle. They'll never win. We are sovereign. Can't own me, control me. I'm an independent soul. No for sale, for rent. Not in the plate I roll. Can't have me, degrade me. Emotional destruction. So what now? Stone me. Don't judge me on the win. 'Cause you'll never win. I'm
Good Monday, Magnum Monday morning to everyone out there. Hope you're all having a really fantastic Monday so far. I know Mondays can be a little weird sometimes, but yeah, you get through them and you find a Tuesday on the other side, then a Wednesday. Whatever. You know how it works. All right, you see that flag flying in that beautiful blue sky there? If you would please. Let's remember why we do this, because of that beautiful flag and the absolutely fantastic country and the people behind that country, what it represents, and the sacrifice that has gone on for over 200 years to keep that flag flying. So if you would please put your hands on your hearts and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America. Hoorah! Okay. All right. Well, November 16th. For some reason, it seems like this would be a significant day and have some kind of significance. I don't know. But I know that, there's a lot of things happening over the weekend. Well, I know for one thing, the people here in Washington State get to, put up with more of Governor Inslee's silliness. And, he came out and said, we're going to lock it down really tight right now. And I guess we're going to go until, somebody said December 14th. Which is December 14th is a kind of a significant day in my book, because in 1974, on that day, is when I got the scar on my nose. Trying to think if that has any kind of significance. A ski hitting me in the face, and maybe a declaration of something that happens on that day. Who knows? We'll see. We'll wait and see. So anyway, got a couple verses out of the Bible here. And again, this is something that was inspired by a friend of mine. Lives over in Montana. It is, and I have the hardest time with this this title in the chapter. This chapter in the Bible, Ecclesiastes. Okay, I'm only going to try it the one time. You know the one I'm talking about. It's chapter 3, though. It says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck. And a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end." So there's a time for everything, is what it's saying. And we, through wisdom and knowledge, need to recognize that and learn from it. But when the time comes for any one of those things mentioned here, then it's time to get it on. So take that with you for the rest of the day and ponder that. And just remember all of those different times that, it's just in due time. And, we'll see what happens, those kinds of things. But it's through the wisdom and knowledge that we understand which of those times we're actually in at the moment. So we'll say thanks be to God in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. On that little bit there. So good morning to everyone out there. It is November 16th. That's a Magnum Monday. And I want to say thank you to all the folks out there. Easter Mariah, how you doing? Enoch Coke, I guess is that is. Camouflage Peacock is out there. We have D. Landry. TJ Mullen LaBay. Good morning, TJ. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. I Pope Champ. Good morning. Deborah W. Good morning. Charles Daigle. Hey, Chuck. How you doing? And let's see, who else do we have out there? Sooner Nomad, 2020 Liberty. Good morning to you. Tina Anon. Over here, we got a whole bunch of people over here in Twitch this morning. Future Wolf, good morning. Starbuck, the Cylon, and Turtle Dove, good morning to you. Donald Ray Link, Croc 45, hey, how you doing? Anto Chris, Johnny underscore Johnny Appleseed, Donald Ray Link, good morning to you. Mary Magdalene, good morning. I saw your message a little bit earlier there when I was just trying to bring up the Twitch screen there. Mrs. Pop, good morning over there in Twitch this morning. I see you. You can't hide from me. Patriot Shoozy, how you doing? And DW158. All right. Well, I guess we need to do a little roll call here, just to let y'all know you're listening to Patriot Soapbox 24/7 on YouTube, courtesy of D3MO, and Twitch and D Live. And if you're out there on a Roku on a big screen, hello, how you doing? Just what you needed to see on your big screen, right? This is, hey, Jolly Green. Good to see you out there. How you doing this morning? All right. The temperature right now at my location is 33 degrees. We had a nice walk this morning. It's always fun to get the dogs out and get them walking. They truly enjoy it. And we'll see what the rest of the day brings after that, But how about you guys? I have Walt Hageman checking in at 32 degrees in Republic, Washington. Good morning to you there, Walt. And today we're looking at 29 degrees with light snow in the Twin Cities. And it's my 72nd birthday. Energy Bear. Well, good morning. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Energy Bear. Happy birthday to you. Hey, folks, it's Energy Bear's birthday. All right. Steve, 40 in Pennsylvania, 41 overcast in New York, Tina Anon. We are back on Twitch. Yes, Twitch is back up now. They took us out of Twitch jail, and so we're good. Good morning, Southern Jim. How you doing? MGL Mike, good morning to you. 41 in Rudderville, Tennessee. Clarence Thomas says hi. Well, hi back to Clarence. How you doing today, man? You're doing a great job there, by the way, Clarence. 40 and sloppy in Rochester, New York. Durham appears to be a disappointment on the surface. We are missing. Are we missing anything? I.e., Durham and Q. Don't make assumptions. Let's just wait. A lot of things happen that we don't know about. That's DC all the time. 365 days a year, been going on for years. Soapbox Franny, 39, clear blue sky. Northwest Georgia is checking in there. And good morning again, 39 in Texas. Jenny, how you doing? And Wade T, 47 and sunny in central Alabama. 39 central Indiana. Nebraska, 25 and sunny. Let's see, what else do we have here? Over here in Twitch. Yikes, 1 degree above freezing, says Mary Magdalene. Ooh, 61 and sunny in Cherry Grove Beach. Turtle Dove is sending a big happy birthday there to Energy Bear. So Energy Bear over in D Live, we're communicating across platforms here with you guys. Awesome, I love it. Yes, Thor Thunder God, Trump did win. Yeah, I agree. Good morning, 43 degrees in Noose Bay, Vancouver Island, BC. Donald Ray, good morning to you. And let's see, who else do we have there? 47 Central Bank did that one. Chili 35 in Michigan says living in life 44. Dewey Osborne 40 in Subby and 40 Subby in Searcy, Arkansas. There, Old Norwegian Woman 50 here on the west coast of Norway. Good morning to Old Norwegian Woman. And Princess Shiny Pants in Half Moon Bay, partly light, says Princess Shiny Pants. All right. 34 degrees in Fern, Tucky, Nevada. J9Z, how you doing? Avery Island, the home of Tabasco, sunny, 53 degrees. Happy Warp Speed Vaccine Monday. Thank you for reminding us of that. Could have gone all day. Let's see, firefighter EMT 39 in Central Indiana. And again, I want to reach out there to my good friend, firefighter, and I'm sorry for the loss of your friend there, my good man. But we're always thankful that you're still with us and hanging in there. So God bless you, man. And Nebraska 25 and sunny is checking in there. Let's see. 24 here in western Wisconsin. Brr, fudge. This is Shotzi. All right. 4 inches of leaves on my rock garden this morning, says Sherilyn Solons. Yeah, we had a lot of wind this weekend. So I noticed that a lot of my neighbors who don't have a tree have a lot of leaves. And I have a tree and I don't have a lot of leaves. I don't have a problem with that. 74 in Orlando this morning, considering I've sent out several loads of leaves from my yard already. So, yeah, I do what I can to keep them off the neighbors' lawns. But, what blows there goes there. TJ Mullen, La Bay, 31 in Woodstock, Northern Illinois. At least the sun is shining and the winds have calmed down. 37 degrees here in sunny New Hampshire. D. Landry, 2002. 74 in Orlando this morning. Rule, 2012. Good morning. And let's see, Dearman, 88, 27 degrees in Payne Court. Good morning there, Chuck. How you doing? Mr. Purple Tie, 77 and clear enough to see SpaceX launch from Sebring, Florida last night. That was awesome. I bet it was. Yeah. The only shuttle launch I watched was an early, it was summertime, but it was early evening, just past dusk. I've got to watch a shuttle launch down there in Florida. Man, that was awesome. I was only about 20 miles south of the Cape when that thing took off. And oh man, what a show. Beautiful Camano, 48 degrees on Camano, 57 degrees in Cotopaxi, Colorado. The ground is frozen up here and it's snowing. Northern Minnesota, said Ian and Cope. And booyah. Hey, Judy Morris. Good morning to you, JMO. How you doing? Good to see you this morning. Always great to see old friends. 46 degrees in Mukilteo. Durham's a common, says Rosie for Rivets. Yeah. Cold toilet seat forecast in Bun Circle, Maine. Guess who? Ben Hooter. Good morning, Ben. How you doing? Always good to see you, my friend. 48 or 45, DeWitt, Arkansas. Big figures, small keys. Dewey Osborne. All right. You bet there, firefighter. Sequoia 4 is 38. And a good morning right back at you, Lion and Knox. You guys hope you're doing well down there in the Sequoia Forest. 50 degrees, West Valley, Arizona. Did you see cocaine in the Ukraine? Is that the title of something, or is that it's probably a reference to little Mr. Hunter and his activities. All right. Let's see, 74 in Orlando this morning, 55 degrees in South Georgia, Burr, 45 degrees, waiting in line at Bank. Go Navy, HHS 73 girl. And sunny and cool autumn day on the southeast coast. Are they actually letting you in the bank there, HHS 73 girl? Because, all of our bank lobbies right now are, it seems like everybody that I do business with is go through our drive-through window. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have out here? Let's check over on the Twitch side. For some reason, because I don't know, I keep forgetting where the little button is so I can pop out the chat on Twitch. I can't never remember where that little widget is. And so now I have to look over on my other screen here where I have Twitch opened up, and until I can find that stupid button, I'm stuck with that for the moment. So no, don't want to do mod view. And you would think they would put it in like chat settings, but no, it's not there. And I'm like, you buggers. And I've been through this. I just don't do it often enough, because once I get the chat popped out, it kind of sits there and just stays on my screen 24/7. And it's like, okay, where did they hide? Okay, where did they hide it? And then when I do finally find it, I say, okay, now remember where that is. Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, so anyway, I'll get it figured out, guys. I'll get it figured out. Let's see, more options. No, under more options, it says report Patriot Soapbox. No, I'm not going to do that. We've had enough of that. Okay, our bank lobbies are locked down in Wisconsin due to crazy Evers lockdown. Yep, same here in Washington. 30 and sunny in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And let's see, who else do we have out here? I voted straight Republican ticket in every election since 1972, except in 2000. I didn't like Bush or Gore, so I voted for Harry Brown then. A lot of strange votes came in some of these elections based on what folks were dealing with at the time. All right. Well, thank you for participating in this morning's roll call. I'm glad it's a good part of your day there, Tina. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like letting you guys know that I certainly do appreciate the fact that you guys are here, and you're here just about every single day if you can be. And we certainly appreciate it. Everyone here at Patriot Soapbox appreciates everything that you do as patriots, as listeners on the channel. We definitely appreciate it. So. Well, anyway, I got lots of stuff on the stack of stuff this morning here, and I'm going to start out with a little bit of local news because it involves the new procedures, or the reestablishment of old procedures, different day, same old crap, out of a libtard governor that we have. And as you can see, grocers release statement following Governor Inslee's new COVID-19 restrictions by Stephanie Klein. This came out just yesterday. Yesterday afternoon. On Sunday, Governor Inslee announced new restrictions as part of Washington State's response to COVID-19. Shortly after, the Washington Food Industry Association's incoming CEO released a statement. Washington State's independent grocery and convenience stores are working hard to safely meet the needs of customers during COVID-19. Since the early days of the outbreak, grocery stores have complied with COVID regulations, masking up, sanitizing, and providing clean, safe shopping experiences. Now our members are asking for your continued patience as local grocers adjust to operating under these new rules during the busiest shopping season of the year, close quote, said Tammy Hetrick. The Washington Food Industry Association, WFIA, represents Washington state's independent grocers and convenience stores. Grocers do not make these regulations, but they are required to enforce them as long as they are still operating under the permission of the great state of Washington's bureaucrats. All right? Keep that in mind. While they're still operating with the permission, they are conducting business under the permission of the Labor and Industries, the Health Department, and all these other things. If you get it. So, let's see. They are required to enforce them, Hetrick said. Like you, we are adjusting to new and ever-changing rules about how to shop safely during this unprecedented time. Yeah, it's unprecedented because it's unconstitutional besides. Stores are doing their best to innovate and offer safe, convenient services and maintain reasonable access. Shoppers, please do not take your frustrations out on store employees who are just doing their jobs. Our stores and our suppliers are working diligently to ensure shoppers will have safe access to food and other products they seek this holiday season. Yeah. So you can go buy up, a turkey, but you can only share it with 3 people because you can't have more than I forget what he came out with, but and gatherings at the homes are limited as well to like 5 people or something stupid like that. So if you have 6 cars parked in front of your house, unless everybody lives there, I have a feeling the Inslee Gestapo may stop by and go, "You have too many people in your home. You're against the you're not in compliance with the governor's latest unconstitutional dictates." Okay. So, like you, we're adjusting to new and ever-changing rules about how to shop safely during this unprecedented times. Safety remains the top priority of our stores, their employees, and the shopping public. We must continue to work together and help one another if we are to put an end to this pandemic and begin the road back to normalcy. Why don't we just be normal anyway? Why don't we just go back to normal now? I'm good with that. How about you guys? You good with just taking it back to normal? I mean, this so-called pandemic is a bunch of BS. They have not been able to prove a thing. There's no, has anybody actually shown you? Do we have an electron microscope view of this nefarious virus? No, we have what we have is we have a media out there that has been pushing a narrative because they are bought and paid for by the deep state to scare the living pants off everybody, to work you, to psychologically massage you and keep you in a tizzy. That's pretty much what it's all about. And as long as you listen to this garbage, I hope you enjoy your mask. I don't. I will not wear a mask. And I'm just wondering if this next, I haven't been out since yesterday. Well, I didn't go anywhere yesterday, and I haven't been out today. And I can hang in here for at least a couple of weeks before it would be nice to get to a grocery store, but I don't have to. But if we're going to be sitting here for 30 days, it'll get interesting. If I refuse to go to a store and if they refuse to allow me in if I'm not wearing a mask, if they start throwing me out. The only other way to deal with this is to everybody leave your mask at home in the garbage can and go about your day. And when nobody walks through the doors of these places that are mandating a mask, then the operators of these businesses have chosen their side. And I mean, when do we tell the government that they don't have the power to do this? They don't have the statistics. There is absolutely nothing of any solid science that they can prove that any of this has any validity at all. We have a lot of people lying, cheating, and stealing in the form of misrepresenting deaths and all of that stuff. All right. So anyway, that's Inslee's new order bans indoor gatherings and indoor service at restaurants and bars, retail, including grocery stores, and it will be capped at 25% of indoor occupancy. So, whatever the occupancy is of the particular establishment that you're going into, it is now limited to 25%. Now, the interesting thing is, I have a feeling if you go into certain different locations, that may not be necessarily the case. Oh, like the casinos that are run on by the Indians. I've noticed that they kind of, step outside the, these things too. Everybody in there wears masks and all that stuff, but they kind of step outside, and and obviously the casino, they gotta stay in business, got to have that casino operating. You got to have people in there paying the bills for that casino. Yeah, so just more silliness, more ridiculousness. So we'll get you a link to that article there if you're in Washington State. That might be of particular interest to you. And even if you're not in Washington State, if you're in one of these states where they have been, you've got one of these libtard governors like we do, then you may be dealing with something of a very similar nature. Yeah. All righty. Let's see here. I'm going to drop my chat here for a moment. And okay. And I want to say good morning to Age of Accountability. He's hanging in here with me this morning. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Thumper. Good morning, chat. If you're new to the show, chat, please drop a 1 into the end of the chat, and we'd like to welcome you to the Magnum edition. I yesterday went to base, Thumper, and the line there was like 15 people behind me in a line to purchase weapons. There was a gentleman beside me who bought $4,000 worth of weapons, and you couldn't get any caliber of any ammunition where I'm at down here in Virginia. So one guy behind me, and there's 14 other people behind him, and as fast as they can unpack a box and put a rifle up on the rack, another person would come and take that rifle down, and it would be sold. It was really amazing. I was really shocked to see that kind of purchasing going on, because that's on base, right? I can't imagine what it's been out like in the public now. But yeah, you can't get any caliber of any round of any kind here in Virginia right now. At least where I'm at. I haven't gone further north for a while, but I thought you and chat
did you
find
say
that
that was
interesting.
Did you say that was on base?
That was on base.
That was on base.
On base,
Wow.
and they let him buy $4,000 worth of weapons.
That is just.
Is that crazy?
That is wild.
You couldn't even get any pellet guns. They were sold out of pellet guns, rifles and pistols.
Man.
And they don't know when they're going to get ammunition back in at all.
That is just.
Isn't that astounding?
It really is because. Yeah, you that's got to be just
Yeah, as long as you
man.
have your conceal and carry in Virginia, you can buy as many weapons pretty much that you want to, as far as I know. I know
Yeah.
the governor's tried to curtail everything and make it as tough as possible to buy any weapons. But as long as you got your conceal and carry, you can buy more than one handgun. He was mainly buying rifles, right,
Mhm.
of various types and sizes. And I think that was one of the reasons why he was able to do it, because I think he only bought one or two handguns when he was there. But the handguns were so short, all you could do was buy the displays. And I got my 380 with the laser sights, and I literally had to take the one out of the display case. It was all they had left. And had I been 15 minutes later, I probably wouldn't have gotten anything that would have been actually any use, right, for home defense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's crazy. I found that very interesting, and I thought you in the chat would find it interesting. And chat, if you are thinking about buying a weapon, please go get your training first. Please be trained like me and Thumper, and take that extra time to train yourself. And the reason I say that is I have a very close friend who went to visit over the weekend, and when I got to his house, he was showing me his new weapon, and he got himself a 9mm. And however, when I looked at his magazines, he had literally forced the bullets in backwards and put the bullets backwards in his magazine, because it was his first weapon he'd ever purchased. He's never even had a safety class or been anything. And he had loaded all of his ammunition backwards. Now, imagine how hard that is, and how he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", 6'3", and he was just he had forced all those rounds in backwards into the, and couldn't figure out why he couldn't get the magazine into the weapon.
Was the magazine still usable once you got the rounds back out of it?
Yeah. I took it apart. Right. I got a gun kit to take those things apart with the little Allen wrenches and stuff for pretty much any caliber weapon. And I took it apart and got him out of there, and then showed him how to do it properly. And then I gave him a website to go take some online courses at least first, because everything's shut down. Right. The only thing I can do now is eventually take him to the range for practice. But honestly, I'd never seen anybody be able to be so strong they could load the shells backwards into the magazine.
That takes a little, because for one, well, if it's a composite magazine, you might be able to squeeze them through there. But if it's like a metal magazine, good luck with that.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, dude, how'd you get these in here? He said, I'm squishing and pushing. And
It's really tough. How do you do that? Well, you start out by doing it the right way.
Yeah. So
Make sure the pew pew end is pointed toward the pew pew end of the gun.
And I'm going to buy him an eye target thing, I think, for his weapon, so he can at least practice dry firing for a while. I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of different things. The helicopters that hover above my house every day since the election ended is keeping me on Zulu time. So I get lots of time to research and keep you awake from like 7 in the morning to 11 at night. And all that being said, things are going pretty good, I think, for the most part. And I'm looking forward to spending the next half hour to an hour with you here today. Before I have to go do my, I'm going to go do an outpatient surgery thing today, and they're going to block the left nerve in the left side of my neck to help deal with some of the vertigo and the pain. We're going to see how that works out and see if I get any relief from that.
That doesn't sound like any much fun.
anything sounds like more fun than where I've been. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To be able to
yeah,
sit
I
here,
hear you.
it's all I can do to sit here for an hour or half an hour or 20 minutes sometimes and participate on the shows with everybody because of it. So I'm hoping to get some relief and get a little bit better quality of life.
Yeah, yeah, I hear it. All right. Well, let's see. I've got some more stories here. Let's dive into a few of these. Let's see here. While you were chit-chatting, I was trying to figure out how to pop out my Twitch chat, and I still haven't found the magic button. Dang it. And I'm clicking all the little gears and all the little different places that I you supposedly can get, more. And I have found it before. This is the most frustrating thing. It's almost
Obviously, it's child-proof, and it's something I can't help you with.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Especially
usually
with my
pretty good at
vertigo,
finding
when you
these
see
things.
double,
but
I'm right pushing way too many buttons.
I swear they they. It seems like logic has left the building.
Absolutely.
It just is very, very frustrating. So anyway.
At least we flipped 11 seats now for the Republicans. There's 11 House seats that have been picked up total.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's a great segue into this next story. Thank you for that. Patriotic senator rolls out plan to turn Oklahoma into a Second Amendment sanctuary state. Published 4 hours ago on November 15th, 2020, according to this. Okay. A number of Republican elected officials are crafting legislation to stave off potential gun grabs under a potential Biden administration. The presumptive president-elect, Joe Biden, good luck with that, has a long track record of supporting gun control while he was the senator of Delaware. For example, Biden helped pass the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act. Yeah, basically creating killing zones. Gun-free killing zones for those who want to go in and shoot up a school. Thank you, Joe Biden, Mr. School Zone shooting proponent himself. Yeah. And the 1994 assault weapons ban. Oh, yes. Joe is notorious for, standing up to strip you of your gun rights. All right. Under his administration, Biden would continue his gun-grabbing crusade. News 9 listed off some of Biden's anti-gun plan. However, one Oklahoma state senator, is ready to challenge any kind of federal gun control action. Senator Nathan Dam revealed he's working on legislation that would turn Oklahoma into a Second Amendment sanctuary. You know what? The Second Amendment is the sanctuary that you have. Anything after that is just a bunch of BS. All right? This idea that they can come in with sensible gun laws, well, what's sensible to you and what's sensible to Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton are two totally different things, believe me. And if you enjoy your freedom and if you enjoy American traditions and things like that, these people are totally antithetical to that, meaning that those cities, those states, those counties that enact this will not implement any unconstitutional gun control measures, close quote, Dom commented. In addition, Dom said he is flirting with the idea of including language that would keep police from carrying out gun control measures, end quote. A lot of how the feds try to implement these things is through local law enforcement, whether it's county sheriffs, local police departments, and then try to attach funding to that to force those cities and counties to do that. So what we could do is make sure that those cities and counties don't accept any federal funding to implement any gun control measures, close quote, he remarked. Keep in mind, that this whole lockdown thing, and the lack of tax income from retail sales and businesses and things like that, as they continue to work to shut down the country in these states like Washington State. That's one of the things they're putting the pressure on the governments, your local governments and things like that, in order to raise taxes to offset the lack of income because of their own freaking decisions to shut down your cities and your counties, and restricting your ability to go out and move about the city, the county, the countryside, whatever. Yeah. The U.S. is in uncharted waters right now. Although there will likely be a divided Congress, any kind of crisis could make the political establishment coalesce to create a gun control solution. I've got that in quotes, to placate the anti-gun media. Well, that anti-gun media is losing ground quickly. All right. As they fail to accurately report and continue to stand on the side of everything that most people in this country do not agree with, and that is, let's start with illegal elections. Let's talk about the restriction of our rights to move about the country freely. Let's talk about our rights to free and fair and accurate elections. Let's talk about a news media that actually talks about the truth instead of being the mouthpieces of a very, very nefarious agenda that we're all seeing rolled out right before our eyes. They haven't asked you to put a mask over your eyes yet, but I guess the lack of oxygen has restricted some people's ability to actually just see what's going on. And maybe that little string around the ears is restricting your ability to hear, or some of these people to be able to hear. I don't know. But what in America is wrong with this picture? All right. What is wrong with this picture, people? A lot. Okay. Senator Dom has the right instincts in mind by making sure to proactively defend his state from potential anti-gun depredations coming from the federal government. And that's the end of that article. So, he's going to try to do what he can. But the mere fact we have to go out and do things that our Constitution has already done it for us. All we have to do is follow the damn thing. But they've gotten us so far off the track of the Constitution that they keep, we don't need to write anything else into it. We just need to go back and go, hello, right here, shall not be infringed. Pretty simple. But if we go back to there, you know what that means? That means that all this other crap has to go away too. Okay, so when you start doing this sanctuary crap, now granted, I don't have a problem with it, but the problem is we don't have to do that. We just need to go back to the Constitution. It says right there, shall not be infringed. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It doesn't need any additional legislation. One thing I've pointed out over the years of the you go back and you look at the first 13 or 14 amendments to the Constitution. All right. Very, very simply written, short paragraphs. I'm not sure what the longest one is, but I believe the Second Amendment is 28 words, 26 or 28 words. I can't remember specifically. a well-regulated militia is necessary for the to maintain a free state. Therefore, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, I think is about as close as I can get to it right off the top of my head. Being necessary to a free state. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, we don't need this additional BS in order to protect something that is already guaranteed to us, not only in the Constitution, but the Constitution basically says these are inalienable rights. These rights come to us. They are natural. We were just, by stating that in the Constitution, we are just stating a given. Also, the other aspect of this is that the Second Amendment is in protection of this nation from both domestic, foreign and domestic attacks. Well, right now we are dealing, and we have been dealing with, a very slow and nefarious infiltration and in many cases treasonous attack on the founding documents of our country, and nobody's really called it out for it. And I think that it's time. It's high time that we actually get out there and start calling it what it is, and that is treason. And that's one of the things I really like about Donald Trump, because he actually has come out and said, "Oh, this is treason. These people have committed treason against this country." Absolutely. So now I understand that Age of Accountability has something he'd like to share with you folks. And sir, what you got?
I put together a small presentation while I was doing research, since the helicopters have been keeping me awake all week. That kind of talks about the future and some of the different things that are going on and what I think is going to happen. And I hope chat enjoys it. I'm going to start out right now doing the, hold on, let me get this out of the window out here. Can you see it okay, Thumper?
Daily motivation, truth reading.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. I'm going to read this. I like this saying. I think it's important. In my study of the communist societies, I came to the conclusion that the purpose of the communist propaganda was not to persuade or convince, not to inform, but to humiliate. And therefore, the less it corresponded with reality, the better. When people were forced to remain silent, when they are being told the most obvious lies, or even worse, when they are forced to repeat the lies themselves, they lose once and for all their sense of probity. To assent to the obvious lies in some small way is to become evil oneself. One standing to resist anything is thus eroded and even destroyed. A society of emasculated liars is easy to control. I think if you examine political correctness, it has the same effect and is tended to. Theodore Rumpel. That's just something for you to ponder, chat. That's what they've been doing for years. Here's the 11 houses that we flipped, and I'm very excited about this. They said to watch California. So right now we've rigged for red. The president's running silent, and rigged for red meant a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So there's our victory dance for winning the 11 seats. Here's our rig for red. So an EAM loyalist. That's an emergency action message, which I'll cover in a minute. So the first thing that'll happen with this is once POTUS's Twitter removal, when that occurs, the next red that'll happen when you're rigging for red is central communications blackout across the continental U.S. The third would be the classified movement of Pelosi or Pence. The next rig for red would be the movement of military assets, the 10th Mountain Division, the 1st Marine CPSD, and the Marine QVIR. So the 10th Mountain is just coming back from a deployment in Afghanistan. And some have already come back, and the rest will be coming back. And so they have been, I believe, spread out across the U.S. For the virus immunizations, at least under that guise. So right now they're saying it's under the guise of citizen riot control. I don't think so. I think they've already done it. I think they're ready for this. Then the next one would be the National Military Command Center. And when SITCOM gets involved, right, then they can pass out the rules they need to do to the different assets that are going to be helping with this. Here's next one would be the Secretary of Defense and his instruction one. Hence why had to get rid of Esper and the others, and the U.S. Secret Service, Castle Rock. So Castle Rock is also a term used to protect the White House or harden the White House. And when the U.S. Secret Service is involved, right, they'll get their instructions and they'll secure the White House. And that's also another term for Castle Rock for those who are new to the channel and are not aware of that. So when you look at an EAM use is for cryptographic protocols. It includes methods such as digital signatures to authenticate the messages, thereby ensuring that they cannot be forged or altered. In the United States, the EAM will be issued from the National Military Command Center at the Pentagon, or if it has been destroyed by an enemy first strike, by the alternate National Military Command Center, Site R, at Raven Rock, Pennsylvania. And I think we need to do some digging on Raven Rock, just to kind of see what's going on there, just to be see how that might tie into some of the Q message traffic. Or by a Boeing E-4B National Airborne Operations Center. The messages are sent in digital format to nuclear-capable major commands. The messages are then relayed to aircraft that are on alert by the U.S. Strategic Command at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska, via single sideband modulation, radio transmitters of the high-frequency global communication system, formerly known as the Global High-Frequency Service. The EAM is related to missile firing, nuclear, but you get the idea. This is how they might transmit the EAM. Now, there's also a thing called Sky King messages, are also read in the same network as EAMs, also known as Foxtrot broadcast. These messages will interrupt EAM messages if needed to be read. They contain a higher priority and time-sensitive code for orders that need immediate attention. So this gives you an idea of that. Now, here lately, the 130 Secret Service agents have isolated for COVID-19 outbreak. Now, I find that kind of odd. So has the order already been given to the Secret Service, right, to prepare for their part in rigging for Red 6? I wondered. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with everybody is the Marine Corps has something called a Certified Professional in Supplier Diversity. It's a certification in supply management and doing these things, where they can have all the medical gear that they need for any type of medical treatments. It's an overall encompassing certification for any type of logistics requirements. The QVIR has to deal with water purification in Indian tribes, is the best I can find. I've called a colleague to find out more about it in the Marine Corps, because that was the first time I had heard QVIR in a Marine Corps sense. So I know if it's actually QVIR, which has to do with the Indian tribes and their water issues, or is it actually Marine Corps QVIR? And I'm starting to be more of the one that it's a separate thing from the Marine Corps. So one of the important things that you're going to have to determine, and I want you to be able to discuss with people who are your friends or family, is martial law of the United States. And it's a very distinct thing for actual martial law. And this is what you need to know as a chat. And I really want Thumper to provide his 2 cents on this part. We were kind of talking about it before the show. In the United States, martial law is limited by several court decisions that were handed down between the American Civil War and World War II. In 1878, Congress passed the Posse Comitatus Act, which forbids U.S. military involvement in domestic law enforcement without congressional approval. However, that part I don't think it's going to apply here, and here's why. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in case of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. There have been many instances in the U.S. military within the borders of the United States, such as during the Whiskey Rebellion in the South during the Civil Rights Movement. But those acts are not tantamount to a declaration of martial law. The distinction must be made as clear as that between martial law and military justice. I believe what you'll be witnessing is actually military justice, because the only way you can have military law or military martial law is deployment of troops does not necessarily mean that the civil courts cannot function. The only way you have true martial law is if the civil courts across the entire United States can no longer function. If the civil courts are still functioning when the president uses the Emergency Act to deploy military justice, that's a totally different thing. Right? He's stopping an insurrection. That's he has the power to do that. He doesn't need Congress. But to declare martial law, he's supposed to get Congress's approval. 2, the civil courts can't function. And 3, true martial law is where the military takes over, and there's not necessarily an elected official above the military controlling that. But for us, for your definition, it's when the civil courts cannot function. And I wanted to make that distinction. So if you have to defend this, when the president does go about with the Emergency Declaration Act, he already declared in 2017, 2018, to round these dirtbags up, you'll be able to speak to that and defend it and say, no, it's military justice. So what's military justice? Military justice or military law is a body of laws and procedures governing members of the armed forces. Now think about this. It's not just the armed forces now. The president has updated the Uniform Code of Military Justice to treat civilians who receive a government paycheck the same way as the military would be treated. They no longer fall under civil jurisdiction. So that way, he doesn't have to turn off the civil courts to do this, because they already fall under the updated UCNJ legal manual that he updated last year, January or January before last. I can't remember which. Military justice is distinct from martial law, which is the imposition of military authority on a civilian population as a substitute for civil authority, and is often declared in times of emergency, war, or civil unrest. Most countries restrict when and in what manner martial law may be declared and enforced. So I wanted you to be aware of that, chat. What you're going to see is military justice, I believe. And Thumper, I'm really looking forward to your comments on this and what you think about that. And I'll drop the presentation into the Zoom chat so you can share it with everybody. But I thought it was an interesting thing to sit there and read that and go through those. I hadn't really noticed the different things for the queue message traffic for 4414 that talk about rigging for red and all these different things. So I'm ready for your comments if you're ready, and I will of course put this into the Zoom chat so you can share it in chat.
You bet. Yeah. Well, I was over getting coffee, but I was listening, and yeah. And as we were discussing before the show, or before we went live this morning on the show, the whole idea of just to what extent you can have a limited declaration of martial law. It can be the whole country, or it can be portions of the country where they can declare martial law. Now, where you've declared martial law, I believe that it all crimes, all legal actions are therefore under the Uniform of Code of Military Justice, and it is handled by military courts. And so, depending on the extent of the declaration of martial law, would depend on how infractions and certain judicial proceedings would be carried out. Hey, Tone Capone, good morning. So now, right now, I believe we are under a declaration of national emergency, and that provides certain actions by the president to do certain things, but I don't. It doesn't suspend your regular judicial court proceedings.
What it does do, it specifically talks to the election, and it says anybody that participated either in support of or any direct participation, they automatically fall under the new UCMJ rules based on that, and they fall under that emergency act. At least I believe that from my legal training and the different things I've participated in over the years. So they've already been, he's got the evidence that they tried to steal the election. So now they're enemy combatants. They're no longer allowed to be U.S. citizens. I believe that's how they would be labeled.
Yeah, they would be labeled as traitors, insurrectionists,
exactly,
and of that nature, which places them under the military court system and military judicial law, which is all spelled out in the UCMJ.
Yep, especially the new updates that he's put in there. And the reason I bring this up is his genius. He was prepared. He's figured out how to circumvent Congress, how not to declare martial law, how to keep it an emergency act, how to make it military justice, right? So people can't come back and say, oh, he's acting like a dictator, right? The first time they say it, anybody in chat now can defend that, say, no, that's not martial law. He's not. Our civilian courts are still active. Those people are traitors and insurrectionists, and they're going to be picked up, and they're going to be handled by the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. He's not a dictator. He's just protecting the country and protecting our Constitution like he's required to do under the Constitution's rules and laws. And I just thought it was interesting. And man, what a genius he is to have thought all this out and prepared for it all along the way the entire time and get these nuances just right. I mean, that's really amazing to me from a tactical standpoint of how well he's insulated not just himself but the American people, right? And to get them ready for the truth.
Well, time is running down because the election itself, having been carried out under a national state of emergency, I'm pretty sure they knew what was coming, and he's going to have to take it right up to, these cutoff dates where certain things have to be certified by the states and the electors identified, and the electors then cast their ballots. So in the meantime, we've got this shit show, excuse my French, but of all of these different states who have decided that they will completely just continue to steamroll over what has always been a system of voting and confirmation. The election observers, I still can't figure out how it is that the Democrats got in charge of counting ballots, and the Republicans sat back and said, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea." I'd like to think, however, that situation came to be needs to be gone back and looked at, and a few people that may still be with us deserve to have their asses kicked.
Absolutely. I can't believe they just let them do that to him, right? If they're locking you out, you go get law enforcement. If you can't get law enforcement, you call some friends in the National Guard or the sheriff's office, because the sheriff has more power than anybody else in any city, and let them know what they're doing. If they don't act, then you start signing the affidavits like they're doing now. And I think this will end up working out to our benefit. But I agree. The fact that they let them count over 600,000 ballots and just stayed outside, right, to let them do it is just beyond me. What you want to do is you want to create an issue. You want it to be 6 o'clock news. You tried to break in and stop them from doing illegal stuff, no matter how they present it. But at least you could stop the illegal vote counting from going on, no matter how you did that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to create a situation where it's pure violence, but you do want to defend yourself and defend the Constitution and defend the vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's astounding to me that they stood aside in Pennsylvania and other places and let them lock them out. There's reasons why we make sledgehammers, right? It's to go in and say, oh, no, right? And they just don't have they have the right people leading some of these counting teams. So that means us as former veterans, we need to get more involved in the counting process and, starting making sure there's armed guards in there to count and make sure that things counted properly, so Democrats can't do this kind of nonsense. And I tweeted yesterday to the president that, right, the 1960s were the Democrats' age of Aquarius, but the 2020s will be the Republican Patriots' age of accountability.
Really fun to think that there could be a radical
sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm still trying to get my my Twitch pop out to pop out.
No problem.
This is so freaking annoying. If anybody out there in chat knows how to get your Twitch, I'm clicking. I know that they made some changes here, and it appears that they've moved something, because I know it wasn't. I've hit every gear, everything on here, and it's still not giving me a pop out chat, and I've used it before, and so this is bugging the crap out of me. Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that we're going to have to just kind of sit back and wait to see how this thing actually plays out. As I see it, there are a couple of different ways this can be played, and the fact is, I know that President Trump and his team are absolutely, they know they have researched every little law, regulation, rule, what have you, that is out there, and I'll put $100 on it that they are not going to get caught doing something that they don't have absolute legal authority to do.
I agree 100%.
Now,
especially now,
they may be using something that's on the books that the Democrats put in place. Now, I've said this numerous times over the last almost 3 years now. I mean, we're so close to doing it. I think we're very well. We've been doing this for 3 years now, because it was, this whole shit show started. Q started in October, so we're over the 3-year anniversary on this stuff. But I've been saying it from the beginning. When you start and go back and you looked at all of the rules and regulations and laws that have been put into place, even things like the Patriot Act and all of this other stuff that is, unconstitutional from day one. And President Trump can lawfully or legally, use the laws and the regulations that the Democrats have been putting in place in order to wrap us up. Okay. But just like anything else, okay, a rule or a regulation, one of the reasons why we stick so closely to our Constitution is because the Constitution was doing everything in an effort to keep laws from being placed on the books that were unconstitutional on the basis of it. And as long as we stayed true to the Constitution, we wouldn't have a problem. However, once we started sidestepping the Constitution in many different ways, we got to a situation where it depends, just like a firearm, depending on whose hands it's in, determines whether it's being used for the right purposes or the wrong purposes. Okay. And the Constitution was designed in such a way that that tool, which is basically what a law is. It's a tool to keep things in order and gives you a defined set of guidelines and rules in which to operate. However, they were writing these things so that they could, go, well, look over here. We have legal authority to do this. It's right here. We passed this law 30 years ago. And, you've never used it. Well, now is the time that we've had decided to use it. Yeah, Charmaine. Yeah, absolutely. Thumper needs to get his Twitch on. He's a little pop out. Yeah, there you go. But they placed all this stuff on the books, and now what is happening is President Trump is using these laws, rules, and regulations, and he's actually able to use them against them. And they really don't have any complaint. They can't complain because they're the ones that put this stuff on the books. Unfortunately, now he's able to use those things against them in order to take them down. And the appropriate thing, once this all gets taken care of, is to remove those nefariously placed rules, laws, and regulations, so that you get back to what the original constraints of the Constitution were designed for, and that was to prevent these kinds of rules, laws, regulations, and heavy-handed tyrannical moves are prohibited, and then re-educate the public to understand, so they can recognize these things and call them out for what they are, and then go through the proper procedures by also making sure that our courts are manned up by folks who will
enforce the Constitution
enforce the Constitution and adjudicate according to the Constitution and the laws that are constitutional, and then go from there. And as long as we can get back to that, we can reestablish this country the way it should have been.
Agreed, but I think a lot of people aren't aware of this, but Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh were both on the 2000 election team for Bush.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe one of the arguments will be also the Equal Rights Protection Clause that Gore tried to use back then, except here it'll actually apply. You have real proof of real voter fraud. And I'm not saying that there wasn't in the 2000, because now as I look at it, some things are starting to make a lot more sense with all this voting stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But here he's actually got proof where they can apply that particular Equal Protection Clause under the Constitution, not just the 12th Amendment, which is another amazing thing to me. I always thought the 12th Amendment was just it went to the House. I didn't realize that the states actually got to vote using the 12th Amendment, where you got the one vote each for each state. That's really right. He's got, like you said, he's got them coming and going backwards, forwards, up and down. And there's no recourse. No matter what course they take, they're going to lose. If it gets to the House like that using the 12th Amendment, because he doesn't concede, as soon as he doesn't concede and it gets time, it's automatically going to go to the House because it's a, when he doesn't concede, it's, what type of election is it considered? Anyway, he's fighting the election. Contested. Thank you. That's the word. That's the word I was trying to get. Thanks, Thumper. I really appreciate it. And then automatically the entire election is null and void. So once he's elected through a contested election through the House, he can run for a third term. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Once you have it, it's happened twice in our history, right? And we've heard other people talk about it here on the channel before. But imagine that. He's been saying, oh, I might even run for a third term. He knew forever, especially the last 2 years he was talking about that. I'm like, well, how in the world can you run for a third term? Is it because of insurrection? No, it's because it's a contested election. And all contested elections are automatically null and void as soon as it goes to the House. Mm-hmm. And that's just his genius and everything that he does. And my vertigo starting to kick in really bad, as if you couldn't tell, since I couldn't remember the word contested. I'm going to have to go medicate and lay down, and I greatly appreciate the time I've been able to spend with you and chat this morning here for the short time that it was, and be able to assist you with the show.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you.
Everybody have a good day and have a blessed day, and I will try to be back on within the next couple of days. And I dropped the presentation in there with all the martial law stuff and everything, Thumper, for you to share with everybody on chat and to go over yourself, and feel free to use it however y'all want to.
All right.
Have a blessed day, everybody, and it's a blessing to be with you. And
thank you.
Take care.
Get some rest, do what you got to do, and we'll catch up with you later. Okay.
All right. Stay motivated.
Thank you. Okay, folks. That age of accountability. Thank you so much. All right. That leaves just you and me, guys. We'll continue on here. This next story I've got for you here, and I see Tetsuyama 511. Hey, good morning, Chief. Go Navy. And Chief is putting something here in the chat here. Let's just take a look and see what Tets is bringing up to us here. Proof why Trump will win part 2. Chief, any idea whether or not we've got okie dokie to play this? It's proof why Trump will win part 2. Yeah, if we can, might be worth taking a look at here. I'll wait for your answer on that, Chief, if you have any idea. But looks like a very interesting piece there. If nothing else, then you guys check on it. You go look at that. In the meantime, I'll go with something I know I can cover here. And this next story is from Breitbart News. And it's pollsters failed to detect Trump support from educated whites. Really? The biggest group of shy Trump voters of the 2020 election voters who concealed their intention from pollsters was educated white voters working in white-collar jobs, according to a post-election analysis conducted by political scientist Eric Kaufman. Let me put the reader on this. I get tired of all these commercials and all this other crap. Okay, there we go. In 2016, it was Trump's support for the Rust Belt, predominantly from white voters without college degrees. That was underestimated. This was particularly true due to the lack of polling in states like Michigan and Wisconsin that flipped for Trump in that election after decades as deep blue Democrat states. This time, however, it was white voters with college degrees that the polls failed to detect. Maybe those voters, I don't like to tell voters. I don't like to tell them. I don't tell them. So, yeah, I don't like to tell them. You don't, if you do the right thing, you'll get the votes. I'm not going to tell you whether or not you got my vote because I'm some kind of just go alonger. The polls didn't do badly in predicting the white non-graduate vote, but failed miserably among white graduates. According to a Pew survey on October 9th, Trump was leading Biden by 21 points among non-white graduates, but trailing him by 26 points among white graduates. Likewise, a Political/ABC poll on October 11th found that Trump leads by 26 points among white voters without four-year college degrees. But Biden holds a 31-point lead with white college graduates. How could they get it so wrong? Yeah, how could they get it so wrong? The exit polls, however, show that Trump ran even among white college graduates, 49-49, and even had an edge among white female graduates of 50-49. This puts pre-election surveys out by a whopping 26 to 31 points among white graduates. Meaning he was way out there in front. Yeah. How could, and they had to have they had to have been, maybe the panic that Q kept talking about is that in order for them to actually pull this off, they had to cheat at such an incredible level by any means necessary. They had to pull out all the stops. They just had to, they ran a Hail Mary on this. They absolutely ran a Hail Mary on this. And in doing so, they threw caution to the wind and went for the Hail Mary. And it didn't work out. It just didn't work out the way they were hoping. That miracle. So many times in a Hail Mary. I mean, that's why it's the chances, the odds of that actually working. But here's the thing. They appear by, passing and supposedly getting the touchdown with this Hail Mary. There were not just one flag on the play. The whole play was, every player on the field basically, committed a foul in which to do this, in which to pull this off. It'd be like a football. This was, it would be like a football team doing a Hail Mary pass, and then right after the snap, all the players running the Hail Mary all pull out baseball bats and start beating the other team. That's how disgustingly blatant this was, and it not only is against the rules by any stretch of the imagination. For one, if they have baseball bats, they're playing football. I don't think they've crossed the line between separation of sports. For one. Secondly, I don't care how many how many pads you have or whatever else. You take out a baseball bat and start beating people over the head with it in a football game, you got a problem. So the fouls on the play would, for one, blatant cheating, blatant disregard for the rules, blatantly, just at that point you just disqualify the whole team. I mean, you just toss from the game. You don't allow a team like that to play anymore. You don't give them a do-over. Hell no. They don't get a do-over. As far as I'm concerned, the crimes that they've committed basically nullify their ability to play in the league anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Kick them out of the league. They're a bunch of criminal misfits and hooligans, and they're criminals at that point. They should be summarily just taken out and then charged for their crimes. They can't play anymore and charged for their crimes to the maximum extent possible. All right? The exit polls, however, show that Trump ran even among white college graduates, 49 to 49, and even had an edge among white females. Okay, we did that one all right. Kaufman's theory is that because blue-collar Trump supporters are less likely to work in industries that become more politically correct under Trump, they felt less pressure to conceal their views from pollsters. Republican supporters with degrees tend to work in graduate-dominated environments where organizations and peers are more likely to enforce norms of political correctness. Yeah, these corporations, these no, it's when the referees bring out the baseball bats, half right. Yeah, the referees start bringing out the baseball bats. I think that's more appropriate. Yeah. As a result, it's a highly educated Republican supporters who are most shy about revealing their beliefs at work. As figure 1 illustrates, 45% of Republicans with degrees compared to 23% of Democrats with degrees said they feared that their careers would be at risk if their views became known. Oh man, you know how many times I've heard that? Oh, I can't say that at work. I can't talk about my stuff at work. You're late. You're Bueller there, Gunter. Yeah. But I'm sure you have an excuse. Just pass it up to the front of the class and we'll log it in. Good to see you this morning there. All right. Alan Bokhari is the senior technology correspondent at Breitbart News. I guess he has a new book out there. Anyway, so you're talking about, you've been these people that they didn't get a feel on was really, and it's because of their political correctness that they weren't able to read that portion of the population. Gee, they created their own problem by not allowing free and open discussion and political correctness. Gosh, it's funny how that stuff always comes around to bite them in the ass. I love it. Always seems to come back around and kick their own ass. When you play these kinds of games, call it karma, call it, you reap what you sow. Any number of ways that philosophers throughout the years have had a way of expressing this particular phenomenon. But it's true. It's so true. And basically, if you give them enough rope, they're going to hang themselves with it. And they seem to have missed those folks who they told to shut up and sit down. Well, they might have done both, but they didn't stop thinking. And well, they did everything they could to try to stop that too, but some people were able to resist, and some others weren't so asleep that they couldn't be woken up. So those are some really good aspects of what has come out of all of this. And you know, thank God that we still have you know, a portion of our population that is thinking and able to see what's going on. Those of us that have been screaming and pointing these things out on holidays like Thanksgiving, you know, when, you know, there, you know, a week or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, they go, are we gonna invite, you know, because you know, always brings up that stuff, and it just, yeah. Yes, you know, he is your father. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things that we have to, you know, deal with. So, okay. I just don't want to leave you guys out in Twitch. So, you know, when it comes time to post over in Twitch, I'm just gonna go there on the screen there, and if I happen to be sharing, you get to watch me do it. Isn't that wonderful? Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see here. We'll log that down here in my stack of presented proof of showing you guys. All right. Now, let's see what else we have here in the stack of stuff here this morning. Dominion engineer told Antifa he'd made sure Trump wouldn't win, report says. Vice President of U.S. Engineering, Eric Comer, shared anti-Trump posts online. Again, this came in yesterday. Thanks you to Menopon, who has just been phenomenal and providing a lot of new links for me to go through. Dominion's top engineer told Antifa he'd made effing sure Trump wouldn't win. Dominion's top engineer assured Antifa, okay, for the third time, we know what I mean, that President Trump wouldn't win the presidential race, according to reports. Dominion Voting Systems Vice President of U.S. Engineering, Eric Comer, whatever, allegedly spoke with Antifa members on conference calls and reportedly assured the other participants by saying, "Don't worry about the election. Trump's not gonna win. I made effing sure of that." Dominion Voting Systems is one of the largest voting technology companies in the United States. Wonder how it got there. It provides voting machines and tabulators to many local governments. More than 30 states use these voting machines to scan ballots in U.S. elections and tabulate votes. Comer joined Dominion as Vice President of Engineering in 2010, according to GWP. His bio says he graduated from the University of California, Berkeley. Well, there's a problem right there, with a PhD in nuclear physics. Wonderful. This nutcase is a nuclear physicist. Wow. I think he's gotten some radiation poisoning or something. Eric Comer was later promoted to Voting Systems Officer of Strategy and Security, although Comer has since been removed from the Dominion page of directors. In a stunning interview conducted by Michelle Malkin, FEC, Faith, Education, and Commerce, United founder Joe Altman reveals how he infiltrated Antifa. While working undercover, Altman says that he was involved in a conversation with Antifa members when he discovered Eric from Dominion, it's in quotes, was allegedly part of the chat during the week of September 27th, 2020. Altman explained that Eric was telling the Antifa members they needed to, in quote, keep up the pressure, close quote. When Altman asked Who's Eric? Someone answered, Eric? He's the Dominion guy. Altman said that as the conversation continued, someone asked, what are we going to do if effing Trump wins, close quote. Altman paraphrased how Eric, the Dominion guy, responded, in quote, don't worry about the election. Trump's not going to win. I made effing sure of that, close quote. After Altman, who runs a data company, finished the call, he started to investigate Eric from Dominion in Denver, Colorado, and came upon Eric Coomer. Altman admitted that it didn't make sense that Eric Coomer would be the Antifa member on the call, and that at the time he knew nothing about Dominion voting systems. It wasn't until after he started hearing about Dominion voting system in the news following the election that he remembered the remarks made by Eric from Dominion on the Antifa chat. Altman began digging into Eric Coomer, trying to find anything he could about him. Altman finally hit gold when he was able to legally access what he claims is Dominion Vice President VP Eric Coomer's Facebook page. What he found was stunning. Joel Altman said he never saw such hate and vitriol coming from someone who has a PhD in nuclear physics. Altman explained to Malkin that Coomer actually reposted the Antifa manifesto to President Trump on his Facebook page. The Gateway pundit posted a copy of that Antifa letter to Trump in a previous report. Joel Altman was removed from Twitter this week. His tweets on Eric Coomer upset big tech. Well, gosh, one of their own, yeah. Altman admits that by revealing this information about Coomer, he is putting himself in danger. He may have a PhD in nuclear physics, but when it comes to hiding his hatred for President Trump, Trump supporters, law enforcement, or even for Texans, Dominion's Eric Coomer isn't very smart. In 2017, when Coomer was in Nevada, he mocked President Trump's Election Integrity Commission on Facebook. Coomer shared a Washington Post article, in quote, the voting commission is a fraud itself. Shut it down, close quote. The article, written by the unhinged Trump hater Jennifer Rubin, was an attack on President Trump's May 11th, 2017 executive order on the establishment of Presidential Advisory Commission on Election Integrity. What about Trump's Election Integrity Commission triggered Coomer? Coomer? Coomer. I'm just going to, was it the part about, in quote, vulnerabilities in voting systems and practices used for federal elections that could lead to improper voter registrations and improper voting, including fraudulent voter registrations and fraudulent voting, close quote, that caused Coomer to have a childish meltdown on his Facebook page. Dominion's Director of Strategy and Security's response to Rubin's article appears to be a bit unhinged, in quotes. And in other news, there may be some serious effery going on right here, fueled by our Cheeto-in-Chief stalking lie after lie on the flames of former Kansas Secretary of State, Chris Kobach. You want something serious to worry about? This is it. Here's what Coomer had to say to his friends on Facebook on July 21st of 2016, who are Trump supporters. The laugh is edited. Okay. Facebook, friend, land, open call. If you are planning to vote for the autocratic, narcissistic, fascist, asshat, blowhard, and his Christian jihadist VP pick, unfriend me now. No, I'm not joking. This is his statement on Facebook here. I'm all for reasoned political discourse and healthy debate. I'm looking at you, 3 names of friends were in there. I disagree with you on many philosophical grounds, but respect your opinions. Only the absolute effing idiot could ever vote for that windbag, F-tard, fascist, racist F. No bull crap. I don't give a damn if you're friend, family, or random acquaintance. Pull the lever, mark an oval, touch a screen for that carnival barker, unfriend me now. I have no desire whatsoever to interact with you. You are beyond hope, beyond reason. You are controlled by fear, reaction, and bull crap. Get your, shift together. Oh, if that doesn't persuade you, if that doesn't persuade you, F you. Seriously, this effing ass clown stands against everything that makes this country awesome. This guy is a nuclear physicist. This guy is a nuclear physicist. And he's supposed to be smart. Wow. Not very smart. You want in on that? You deserve nothing but contempt. Coomer then appears to have second thoughts about covering his tracks and edits his post to include a disclaimer. These opinions are rational and completely my own. They are based in reason and highly credible. By whose standards, I would ask. Though they are not necessarily the thoughts of my employer. Though, if not, I should probably find another job. Who wants to work for complete morons? None of my personal opinions affect my professional conduct or attitudes. I am nonpartisan. Oh, sure. According to Altman, Eric Coomer isn't a big fan of the police. During his interview with Malkin, he shared several screenshots of anti-police rhetoric, like an image to link to YouTube from the hip-hop song Dead Prez. Here's a portion of the lyrics from Dead Prez song, in case it's not on your personal playlist. I would have to say it's not definitely on my playlist. Is there heaven for us hip-hop heathens? Big Pop and Pac, even He Easy had them leaning. We're all children looking for a reason. What do you believe in betrayal, treason? I'm out for dead presidency. I'm out for dead president, blah, blah. I'm out for dead effing president. This guy is a sick puppy. Talk about evil nuclear scientist. This guy is just, over the top freaking evil. Man, I tell you. What a nut job. Let's see. Yeah. And that's with a U, by the way. Child of the King. That's with a U. Okay. Early morning fingers. What's being pointed out here is, I guess, he won the biggest participation trophy. And that is he got to be declared a nuclear physicist from Berkeley. Remember where he got that from? Berkeley. Yeah. Capital of craziness. Oh, I love you, Child of the King. You're awesome. Oh man. Okay, so let's get this out in the into the chat with you guys, and okay, we'll get this shared out there for you. Share this around. This is another great example that you can share with family and friends of the kind of idiots that basically engineered this illegal play on the field by manipulating all this crap. Yeah. So yeah, they definitely manipulated all this silliness. And now I would love nothing more than to see them stripped of their credentials, stripped of their ability to play in the game anymore, and then held 100%. Yeah, he's gone nuclear nuts. Yeah, absolutely, Ron. Yeah, it's just it's more of the, you know, this liberal silliness that's going on, and so getting you guys the link to this article out there in the chat. Okay. As we see the time tunnel of Twitch on the thing there, and back to this article. Okay, I've got it logged in there. You guys got yours. Next on the list here, Minneapolis is collapsing after libtard residents demand to defund their police. So now they're leaving anyway. All right, guys. I need to take a quick little break here. And so let's see. What have I got for you? Oh, I think maybe this one would be appropriate for this morning's little break here. Turn it up, everybody, and I'll be back with a fresh cup of coffee, and we will find out what's going on in Minneapolis. How's that for a teaser?
Find a way now. Liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. They got a double agenda, twisting every word they say now. Cause that's just how they roll. And that's just how they play when they're messing with our two-way. Ever since I can remember, they've been coming for the NRA now. Cause that's just how they roll. And that's just how they play. And they play dirty. Find a way now. Liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. They won't stop until they find a way. Find a way now. Liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. They won't stop until they find a way. We are the NRA, and we're here to say nobody's taking our guns away. Going too far, politicizing the tragedy that take away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with us, Second Amendment. They way. Going too far, politicizing the tragedy that take away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with us, Second Amendment. They way. Find a way now. The liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. You find yourself a dilemma if you're messing with the NRA now. Cause that's just how we roll. And that's just how we play. And let me tell you, there ain't no way we're ever gonna surrender to the fascists that were left today now. Cause that's just how we roll. And that's just how we play here in the USA. Find a way now. The liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. They won't stop until they find a way. Find a way now. Liberals trying to find a way how to take our guns away now. They won't stop until they find a way. We are the NRA, and we're here to say nobody's taking our guns away. Way too far, politicizing the tragedy that took away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with our Second Amendment. They way. Way too far. Politicizing every tragedy to take away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with our Second Amendment. Offended by everyone, they suppress the air in your lungs as they censor your conversation. It's a fascist declaration. Then they come for your guns until all of your freedoms are gone. We are the NRA, we're here to say nobody's taking our guns away. Going too far, politicizing every tragedy to take away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with our Second Amendment. Going too far, politicizing every tragedy to take away our firearms. Saying it's the last time, never again. Nobody's messing with our Second Amendment. Yeah, gun-free zone is like a megaphone, going out to every psychopath feeling alone. They can go out on the attack with no one shooting back and get their face on the 10 o'clock news. Hey, hey. Way too far. Tell me, how does it feel? All those lies that you ruined. Way too far. Just to be another fool that was used as a political tool. Way too far. Tell me, how does it feel? You're a fool that was used like a tool. Saying it's the last time, never again. No way we're giving up our guns because of fools like you. Yeah, how does it feel? You're just a fool that was used as a tool. And there ain't no way we're giving up our guns because of fools like you. Yeah, how does it feel? You're just a fool that was used. And there ain't no way we're giving up our guns to the liberal fascist scum because of fools like you.
Oh, I think I got back just in time. Oh, yeah. I had to, pet the dogs and get some coffee and all the stuff that I do when I take a little bit of a break there. And hope you enjoyed the little song there by our good friend Toot Sweet. Definitely a great writer, singer, performer. Love the stuff that he does. And I love that song. The one line in there, guns free zones like a megaphone. And we were talking earlier, we had that article where, who was responsible for this gun free zones? Oh, right. One Joe Sniffy Schnozola Biden. All right. Yeah. He created those gun-free zones. He was part of. He proudly, promotes that. We created these gun-free zones to keep our kids safe, so we could, basically create a shooting gallery in our schools and other places of public gathering where you're left defenseless if you follow the law, which is really a pile of crap. Since when can they, a defenseless people are not a free people? All right. Do you have a kitty like mine, Easter Mariah? Do you have a Russian blue? Well, they actually, you say Russian gray. They're actually, I think they're called a Russian blue. They have the green eyes and very, very distinctive cats and incredible personalities. Oh my gosh, incredible personalities. All right, well, let's get back to the news here. That's what you're here for. That's what I aim to bring to you. So Minneapolis is collapsing after libtard residents demand to defund their police. So now they're leaving anyway. When you stack stupid on stupid, what do you expect? All right. In the wake of the George Floyd incident earlier this year, crazed left-wing anarchists in Minneapolis demanded that the city take funding away from the police department. The city council dutifully obliged. And now some things that surprise no one who, with 1 ounce of deductive reasoning ability, are happening. Police are demoralized. No kidding. Police are leaving the city. Why would you have a reason to stay? Crime is up by a lot. Well, duh. End quote. If you want to talk about pandemics, we're dealing with a pandemic of violence. Yeah. Kathy Spann, a community activist with the Jordan Area Community Council, told the Washington Post, end quote, we're under siege. You wake up and go to bed in fear because you don't know what's going to happen next, close quote, she added. Continuing her comment, and our city has failed to protect us. Well, when your city fails to protect you because of stupidity and a lack of ability to be able to see to the security of their own city, I mean, that's like the captain of the fort. The zombies are at the gates, and the schmucktard opens the doors, and then puts a pile of meat in front of the door so they can find it. In the aftermath of the riots that devastated parts of the city following the May 25th death of George Floyd, the city council said in June it wanted to defund and dismantle the city's police department. You know, if your police department got so bad that you had to defund it, I have to say that was a major failure of leadership within the city. You allowed the leadership in your city to fail to lead in the proper management of your city. Where did that come from? Oh, that's right. The Democrats convinced you that was the right thing to do, didn't they? So they defund their police department. Let's just dismantle it. Let's just take it apart. You're on your own. Fend for yourselves. The city could let voters make that call as soon as 2021. In the meantime, violence prowls the streets. In quote, homicides in Minneapolis are up 50%, with nearly 75 people killed across the city so far this year. The Post reported more than 500 people have been shot, the highest number in more than a decade, and twice as many as in 2019. And there have been more than 4,600 violent crimes, including hundreds of carjackings and robberies, a 5-year high, close quote. Well, congratulations, libtards. You've just turned your city into a killing zone, crime zone, total anarchy. And you invited it. And what residents you have left, I hope they hold you 100% accountable in every way they can. You deserve it. End quote. Our city is bleeding, Minneapolis Police Department Chief Madeira Arredondo told the recent city council meeting, end quote, at this moment, I'm trying to do all I can to stop that bleeding. He may, his triage may not be. He may not have the bandages and the necessary manpower to do that triage. He said the city has lost more than 100 officers this year, or more than twice the normal rate. Out of 888 budgeted positions, Arredondo has 735 officers, 500 of which are needed for patrolling the streets. Let's be clear, after the city charged 3 of its own officers with murdering Floyd, there aren't a lot of cops on the beat in Minneapolis who are going out of their way to make arrests and get involved in anything that could wind up turning bad for them. So really, the city is only superficially safe. And that's only because there are more residents right now who are law-abiding than the lawless. Well, it only takes a few lawless ones to really create a problem. I mean, I'm not trying to draw any parallels here, but let's go back to the Revolutionary War. Revolutionary War was fought and won by less than 1/3 of the population of the United States. Those people who stood up, less than 1/3, and created a problem for the British troops were less than 1/3 of the population of the country at the time. And they managed to kick King George's ass and send his little redcoats back home. So it doesn't take a lot to create a problem. But it really doesn't matter whether their intentions are honorable or dishonorable. And therefore, it doesn't take a lot. So these people that we have allowed into our country, these people who have been trained and indoctrinated by the likes of the George Soros subversive structure that he has created, not only here, but across the globe. The Flycatchful says 13% to be exact. Yeah. They know this. They operate by this. If you have a few well-trained individuals, you can create a lot of destruction, a lot of hate, a lot of yeah, Bakfa, you have a great day. Release the Kraken. Yeah, time to release the Kraken. So the city is only superficially safe, and that's only because there are more residents right now who are law-abiding than the lawless. And unfortunately, some of those people just don't have the resources, the means to move away from it. So what's going to happen? Either they're going to be victims or they're going to stand up and they're going to take matters into their own hands. And in some cases, taking the matter into your own hands might be the only option that these people have left. And at which point, stand by. Because it's, when it comes down to that, if I'm going to have to defend, my house against a bunch of people, or my neighborhood against a bunch of people who are, their only intent is to rape, pillage, and plunder, then it's the gloves are off. The gloves will be off. Headshots for everybody. Okay. That could change again at the drop of a hat, however. The problem is there won't be anyone around to separate the victims from the lawless next time. So great article here, and it clearly demonstrates where we could be headed and what we could be facing. Unfortunately, this is happening in Minneapolis, but where else could this erupt? Do you think your city is safe? Do you think that this is I'm sure that you could go back 10 years from now and try to tell the people in Minneapolis that this was going to happen to them, and you wouldn't have probably gotten anybody to agree with you. You're just another crazy nutcase wearing a tin hat. No, it can't happen here. It's never going to happen here. You know what? Things always happen where you least expect them. Let's see. I'm just reading a couple of comments in the chat. Ricky Rosh, great comment there. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. The deep state wants a civil war, people. Oh, they would love to have a civil war. Oh, absolutely. Kyle Rittenhouse is, look at what they're doing to that poor kid. That kid, couldn't have responded in a more measured and appropriate way, and they have done nothing but just I understand he's still locked up, and they had to move him someplace out of the area, or I haven't gotten any recent updates on Kyle Rittenhouse. He was the young kid that had the AR-15 and was there that night. I think that was Kenosha, Wisconsin, is where that happened, and I understand he's got an excellent lawyer, and but at the same time, they've marked him as an example to those of us who would defend our cities, stand up. Didi Haugen says, stay out of Minneapolis. It's just not safe, but it was dangerous before the riots. Yeah. We've got to definitely, do something about it. Because things are definitely incredibly wrong there. So let's hope that let's see here. Okay. Okay, where's my chat window? Come on, chat window. There we go. I think. No. Dang it. No, for crying out loud. Twitch, what did you do? Anyway, there's the link to the article there for you guys in Twitch. Come on. And you guys can share that around. All righty. And let's go back. And let's see here. Yeah, close that window there. And we'll close that one down and then go to this one here. Something I was going to just kind of throw out here for something to chew on here. This actually disturbing deepfake tool on popular messaging app Telegram is forging nude images of underage girls from clothed photos on their social media. The unnamed bot works using artificial intelligence and machine learning. It operates on the Telegram messaging app with over 100,000 images shared. Report authors say anyone is at risk of having an image taken and a nude faked. The majority of the women and girls faked by the bot were private individuals. Now, we've heard about this deepfake app a long time ago, actually. And it is quite effective at, basically, making very realistic impressions of people. And I wonder what else. What else could this be used for? It's is there any chance that I mean, there were some times when we were watching some of the Biden videos where it was just the Biden stuff was just weird. Okay. And it just seemed really odd. Were they faking him in a lot of that stuff? Especially the ones where he shows up on video, like he did the night that he supposedly was going to claim his victory. And it turned out he showed up on video camera. Yeah. So as it goes here, photos underage girls share on their social media are being faked to appear nude by a deep fake bot on a messaging app, Telegram. A new report has found the disturbing images are created using a simple piece of AI that can virtually remove clothes, reporting to report authors' sensitivity. More than 100,000 non-consensual sexual images of 10,000 women and girls have been shared online that were created using the bot between July 2019 and 2020. So, you have these deep fake things going on here. So just an idea that you might want to just take a look at and see if maybe there's something to that. Okay, because there's definitely something really, really weird going on with a lot of the videos and things that we're seeing, especially some of these Biden videos were I don't know, I just found him a little suspicious. He never looks quite the same each time you see him. Seems to look differently. Same thing with Hillary. A little bit different. It's like which clone are we going to roll out today, or which imposter are we going to roll out today? And I don't know. Just ponder that for a little bit, just to as a means of taking a look at it here. Let's see, what else do I have in my stack of stuff today? Got all kinds of fun stuff here. This being put out there by Fox News. from our wonderful little state just to the south of us here, Oregon. Yeah, well, let's see. Looks like let's see what happens here. Okay. Oregon official calls out Brown's COVID-19 restriction before Thanksgiving. Brown's, okay, so that's Governor Brown down there in Oregon. Brown's new restrictions that include limiting the number of people in social gatherings to no more than 6. Tootie Smith, a Republican and incoming chairwoman of the Clackamas Board of County Commissioners, took to Facebook on Saturday to announce that despite new restrictions, she plans to celebrate Thanksgiving with as many family and friends as she can find. In quote, Governor Brown is wrong to order otherwise, Smith posted. The Oregonian reported that Smith's post seemed to be a direct rebuke of Oregon's Governor Kate Brown's new restrictions that include limiting the number of people and social gatherings to no more than 6. Brown announced Friday a statewide 2-week freeze, which will limit restaurants and bars to takeout only and close gyms, as well as indoor and outdoor recreational facilities during that period. The freeze will take effect starting November 18th and will run through December 2nd. It aims to limit group activities and slow the spread of COVID-19. The state is experiencing a spike in coronavirus infections and has reached record high positivity rates and hospitalizations in November. The paper reported how Brown backed up her new coronavirus restrictions by warning residents that police will help enforce compliance. Will they? Have you called your local police department to see if they're going to be running around handing out tickets for mask, non-compliance with a mask mandate? Entering your favorite store without a mask on, or are they gonna be patrolling neighborhoods, or are your neighbors going to turn you into the local cops if you have your family over for Thanksgiving dinner and you happen to bring together 12, 14 people? So, I would definitely go to your, local police department, maybe sheriff's department, and say, are you seriously going to be doing this? Because that's a problem. That's a serious problem. They do not have, there is no law that they have to enforce. This is not law. This is a mandate. It's an illegal mandate. And I would like to know where your local law enforcement is drawing their authority from. Okay? I guess maybe you're a subversive if you have more than, what did they say? 8 people or 6 people or whatever it is. That she says you can't have more than 6 people in your home. This is insanity. This is insanity on steroids. Let's see. The paper reported how Brown backed up her new coronavirus. Okay, by she's saying that the police are going to be out there. They're going to be doing this, and I would love to see the police department come out and say, "Excuse me, Governor. No, we won't." Where's the leadership in the police departments and your sheriff's departments that's basically going to stand up, show their backbone, show a little spine, and tell these governors to stick it where the sun don't shine? People like Lauren Culp, who ran for governor here in Washington State and still, is a viable candidate for that position. He has not conceded as yet, and thank God, because it's not going out in the news. But I have it through the grapevine that they are finding a ton of crap here in Washington State. It's being done, and it's they definitely the team here in Washington State basically they pulled out the baseball bats on the Hail Mary, and when they threw for the touchdown, they started bashing the other players with the baseball bats right in front of everybody. They couldn't hide it. No. A few of them pulled knives and maybe even one of those evil guns too. But they've been very, very good. But here in the state of Washington, they may have even had a silencer on their guns that they used to throw that Hail Mary. They got really good at it. They got really sneaky at it. But then they've been doing it here in Washington State for a long time, and they've been exporting it to the rest of the country. I think we're probably going to find out. So Smith told the paper that the coronavirus restrictions have a devastating effect on other issues like domestic violence and depression. And she said that more restrictions are not worth the pain. When the cure is worse than the disease, then it's time for a different cure. The paper pointed out that Smith's post was both praised and criticized. Some called her announcement cavalier, since the state is undergoing so many new infections. Oh, yeah. Heartless bitch, I guess, is probably what they would like to call her. And she's just being realistic. The reality of this situation is we still don't have Didi Hagen. I would only call them my neighbors if I knew they voted for Biden. Funny. I like it. Point man. I like that. I have no neighbors. You're all invited for Thanksgiving to my ranchero. No football played on TV here, just good people, food, and fun. Target clinking is a tradition here. Come join me. Yes. I like that. I like that a lot. That is an excellent way to enjoy a Thanksgiving, in my opinion. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Where's the ranchero, by the way? Are you in driving distance? I'll bring the cranberry sauce. There you go, Ron. Absolutely. Okay, so and basically, if you look at what Governor Brown did down in Oregon and compare it to what idiot Inslee did here in Washington, these people are comparing notes, and they're just doing basically the same as what to some degree Gavin Newsom has he likes to put his own little spin on it, by telling people you can't sing in groups, don't sing in groups, because you're just spewing that horrible virus around by singing, because you might sing something actually religious or uplifting or soul lifting, or you might actually do some good for some people. No. Can't have that. No, absolutely not. So I would like for nothing more than people to just ditch your mask. If you live in Washington, Oregon, California, or wherever else you're wearing a mask, ditch the damn thing. Throw it away. Quit acquiescing to this BS. Okay? I mean, what good are you doing? You're just encouraging them. All right? You're just encouraging them. Yeah. How do you deal with with a misbehaving child that's just acting out to get attention. First off, you spank them on the ass and then send them to their room and tell them, when you can act like a decent person, you can come out. If you're going to act like an ass, stay in your room. Sounds like jail, huh? You don't allow them the opportunity to control the situation, and thusly we see POTUS. POTUS is definitely he's the adult in the room in all of this. There's no question about that. And but we need to back him up by being the adults in the room as well. Okay, for our friends in Twitch there, you can see on screen there, come on, there we go. Okay, there's the article. Get it out there to you. All right. Okay, now back to where we were. So share that around. We don't need more of this silliness, and we don't need to be encouraging these people. It just brings more of it on. Yeah. And Fox News is also putting this out there for y'all. MSNBC segment attacks white women, claims active role in white supremacy. Oh, the ladies. Oh, gosh. I thought it was just white males. They've changed their mind. They've upped the game. You white women are just as responsible as us white males. Welcome to the club. Hey, let's get together, about 5,000 of us. Oh, wait a minute. Are you in Washington, Oregon, or California, or maybe even New York? Oh, wow. Screw them. MSNBC on Saturday devoted an entire segment to attacking white women, a demographic who the panel maintained was active in supporting, oh, good heavens, white supremacy. Host Tiffany Cross asked the panel whether white women's, in quote, overwhelming support for President Trump in the 2020 election was a vote for Trump or against Biden and Harris, with the emphasis on Vice President-elect Harris. Oh, because she's not a white person who's masquerading as a very fair-skinned, well, is she Latina? Is she Middle Eastern? Is she what is she? I don't know about you guys, but I saw something the other day that somebody was saying that she's not a she. I don't know if you saw any of that stuff. Yeah, there's some interesting photos that were going around. We'll leave that for another day, though. So are you white women just voting against D. Landry 2002 $3,000 fine here if you walk into the supermarket without a mask? Collect on it. Go ahead. She's a mongrel, yeah. Julie Kohler, a senior advisor at Democracy Alliance, answered that their support for President Trump represented a, in quote, maintenance of the status quo. Maintenance of the status quo. Oh boy. So you ladies out there, you white ladies are just out there to support white supremacy by, your vote was just you're just greasing the wheels. You're doing maintenance on it, I guess. They really have, they're going over the top here. This is just incredible. And by the way, this is coming out of Fox News here. Pluralities of white women have been voting for Republican candidates for better than part of 70 years, close quote, Kohler said, in quotes. And I think one of the important things that we can hopefully take from this election is that these are long-standing patterns that are unlikely to change. Oh, no, we can't change it. Must be something right about it then. I don't know. Yeah. She then criticized the notion that white women are the better angels of white people. Really? Because they have supposedly, in quote, taken an active role in the maintenance of white supremacy. Oh, there we go. We're maintaining white supremacy. We still see those legacies today, whether it's Amy Cooper or the permit patties or white women that have weaponized their identities against especially black men who threaten their privilege. Wow. Boy, I can just see the rooms where they sit around and they make this stuff up. Little war panel sitting there. Okay. Now, how can we twist this around? And who's our psychological advisor here? Oh, yes, Dr. Breedenshorts. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah. Now, if we put it in this way, then we twist it and shove it where? Oh, thank you, Dr. Breedenshorts. All right. These are long-standing entrenched patterns, Kohler said. Cooper, a 40-year-old white woman, earned national headlines earlier this year for calling 911 on a black bird watcher in Central Park, claiming that he had threatened her. She was charged last month with falsely reporting an incident in the third degree after prosecutors said she called 911 a second time to claim that she was assaulted. Yeah. Whether it's Amy Cooper, what do we know about Amy Cooper? Did she vote for a Republican? Or is she just a handy name that happened to be one of these folks that are, they come from all walks of life. And she just happens to be a white woman, though. So they pulled her out and made her the sacrificial lamb in this article. And then we have the permit patties. What about your mask? Crazy Karens. What about the crazy Karens who are out there screaming at you because you're not wearing a mask? Yes. Is a pejorative leveled against white women. The name entered the lexicon of social media in 2018 after a white woman in San Francisco ignited a wave of backlash after she was seen in a viral video appearing to call police on an 8-year-old African American girl who was selling bottles of water. I believe we actually showed that. Or wait, no, it was there was a woman who was raging on some small child that was driving a one of those battery operated little kiddie Jeeps up and down the sidewalk. Does that kid have a license? This is horrible. I mean, you don't have to be white to be crazy, okay? we've seen just as much craziness across the board. All right. Kohler insisted that even though white women's voting habits appear to be entrenched, progressives shouldn't write them off just yet. She lay much of the blame on a end quote a vast right-wing organizing machine. Oh, it's that vast right-wing organizing machine. That is, and I understand it's being run by a fellow by the name of Fred Boros. Yeah, Fred Boros, because he heard what George Soros was doing, so he decided to set up his own thing. The only problem is Fred lives under a bridge in San Francisco, and he just doesn't have the resources that George Soros has. But that vast right-wing organizing machine by Fred Boros. No, anyway, no, I'm just kidding. There is no Fred Boros. Or is there? Might do some research. Anyway, that has for some 40 years explicitly targeted them. The notion that white women are just going to do this, I think, in a country that's so rooted in white supremacy, it probably is the default position, close quote, she said. But it doesn't mean that we don't organize. And I think that one of the takeaways is that we have to look at where that organizing happened and the difference that it made. And there are examples of that, close quote. So, all you white women organizing behind the scenes, if you were still allowed to have your reading clubs and your quilting bees, I'm sure that you'd be just, organizing up a storm. All right, against all of this, how can we promote more white supremacy? We need to grease the wheels here because we got to do maintenance on this. Oh, good Lord. They are just for some reason I'm able to deal with the audacity of their hypocrisy this morning. And I hope you don't mind. As a matter of fact, I kind of hope you're enjoying it this morning. I'm actually kind of having some fun with this morning. A weird way to have fun, but it's kind of like if you don't fart, you'll explode. So you got to do something, right? Oh, to relieve the pressure. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, we'll get that. That's being distributed out in the chat for y'all right now. Let me swing over to Twitch here. Still cursed by not being able to figure out how to pop out my chat here on Twitch. Still looking for if anybody has a clue on where that little feature is. It's not showing up on my screen. I've hit every gear, every little arrow that I can think of here, and it still just doesn't seem to let's see. Oh, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Okay. Well, let's go back over here and let's see here. Come on. Open that up. And let me put this down into my stack of presented articles along with the rest of the lunacy that we've covered this morning. And let's see, what do we have left? Okay, we did that one already. Okay. Not going to play this, but Rudy really was hot on it yesterday. He and Maria Bartiromo. Actually, I'll give you a link to this. You guys might want to grab this and take a look at it when you get an opportunity, because this is probably evidence that he's part of the crew that's helping to open the door for the Kraken so that it can be released. So I want to see what this Kraken looks like. What's that? What's the Kraken gonna look like? I'm ready to see the Kraken in action, because it definitely needs to be released. Let's see. Lady Aquarian 79 says, "Thank goodness I live in a city where our chief of police, our mayor, our sheriff, and all but one city council are black, and our governor has strict mask rules in place. Have fun calling the police here to help you. Your butt will go to jail." So does that mean that your city officials are all on board with this lunacy? Or could maybe these black city officials actually be wise to how they're being used in this whole craziness? The Kraken had the face of Pepe last night, Sidney Powell tweeted. Woo! Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right. We've reached to the top of the hour here, and I need another short break, which we will get started right now. So I'll be back in a little bit, in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So enjoy the music, folks. I'll be right back.
I haven't lost my temper in 40 years. But Pilgrim, you caused a lot of trouble this morning. Might have got somebody killed. And somebody ought to belt you in the mouth. But I won't. I won't. The hell I won't.
Washington has failed us. Hollywood obscene. Churches come complacent. The bankers are all thieves. This wasn't the country we were left. We wouldn't leave this to our kids. Yeah, we fell asleep and left this nation all but defenseless. Must have been a stirring that faithful November morn when 45 was elected and the deep state all got scorned. With the sun in his face and the wind to his back, may his powder stay dry and his burden be light. May the Lord's face upon you always shine. Ballad of 45. Came in guns a-blazing in that godforsaken town. The mockingbird media swore to take him down, but he led his posse through the swamp and polished up his gun. You could tell the Lord had placed his hand upon this chosen one. The enemy swears to this day still can't understand how they got their sorry asses handed right back to them. With the sun in his face and the wind to his back, may his powder stay dry, may his burden be light. May the Lord's face upon you always shine. Ballad of 45. So activate the Patriots and read the prophecy. He must be re-elected to keep this land free. And all those little lefties are just pawns in the game. They have their own handler. Satan is his name. In the year 2020, people's voices shake the earth. The time has come to clean this mess. Justice will be served. The sun in his face and the winds to his back. May his powder stay dry. May his burden be light. May the Lord's face upon you always shine. Out of 45.
All right. And I'm back. And you're still here. Thank you. We appreciate that. All right. So let's see. What other kind of stuff do I have in my stack of stuff? I got a little echo going here. Let's back down the speakers here.
You give your time.
Oh, no.
You give your courage.
Okay. Got background stuff. Oh, yeah. Let me just kind of got a couple more stories here. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Got a little weather, it looks like, coming in on Central America. What's yeah, this story is interesting. Okay. Yeah, the liberal craziness just continues on. Oh, coming in from Breitbart. Here's it's a video. Yeah, can't really show videos. And we have a winner at the Masters. It looks like Dustin Johnson cruised to a record-setting victory in the 2020 Masters. That's an interesting. I have no idea who the guy is. I don't follow golf. Beverly, as far as I've been able to discern, the dictates that he came out with yesterday were going to start being effective today, the 16th. That's what I understood from the stuff that I was reading. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have here in the stack stuff? Let me go all the way to the latest stuff that. Okay. Before we get too far down that road, let's go take a look and see if President Trump has offered any new tweets this morning and see what we've got going there. Looks like we have a couple of tweets here from the president. Here, let me put them up on screen and share them with you. Okay, in the last 17 minutes. Oh, how handy. We just happened to catch this one at 17 minutes. Georgia won't let us look at all the important signature match. Without that, the recount is meaningless. Open up unconstitutional consent decree now, says President Trump. And they've on Twitter, in their infinite wisdom, because they know what's best for you, have put there, this claim about election fraud is disputed. Okay. And then we have European countries are sadly getting clobbered by the China virus. The fake news does not like reporting this. What's with that? And the stock market getting very close to 30,000 on new vaccine news, 95% effective. That was 1 hour ago. Also, 1 hour ago, they will pack the courts. We won't let that happen. And then another one an hour ago, the radical left Democrats working with their partner, the fake news media, are trying to steal this election. We won't let them. And then, again, the wise sages over at Twitter have decided that you need to be careful about listening to this stuff. The president could be lying to you. I wonder if they're putting any of that stuff on any of the stuff the Democrats are putting out. I know. It's a silly question, right? All right. Anyway, Donald Trump tweeted 1 hour ago, Trump campaign rejects media reports of changed Pennsylvania case. And then he cites this Breitbart.com radio thing here via Breitbart News, just more fake news. Harassment and exclusion of our poll watchers is a big part of our case. Unconstitutional. And there's actually a little article here. Let's pop in on that article and see what we got here. This coming from Breitbart News. Trump campaign pushes back on media reports of changed Pennsylvania case. The Trump campaign pushed back Sunday night against reports by the Washington Post and others that it had dropped a major part of its case challenging the election results in Pennsylvania. The Post's John Swain and Elise Viebeck reported that the Trump campaign was abandoning the claim that election authorities invalidated over 600,000 votes by barring Trump election observers from watching the count. I think that Rudy kind of made that case in that video that I gave you with he and Maria Bartiromo. Yeah, because if you don't have a valid verification of the vote, then you might as well be counting used tissue paper. All right. The left that left a much smaller part of the case, namely that Democrat-run counties allowed voters to cure, in quotes, problems with their mailed-in ballots, while Republican counties followed rules laid down by the state legislature did not. But Trump campaign legal advisor Jenna Ellis, who appeared on Breitbart News Sunday on Sirius XM Patriot 125, shortly after the Post story came out, disputed its claims. And you can probably listen to it right there. And then we have this Joe Polak tweet here. Note to at Washington Post, at Jenna Ellis Esquire of the Trump campaign says this report is inaccurate, i.e. hashtag fake news. She told at Breitbart News Sunday that the authors appear to have missed paragraph 142 and 150 at John Swain, at Elise Viebeck. Okay. Trump campaign jettisons major part. Other campaign officials added to the criticism of the Post on Twitter. They also missed paragraph 4 at Washington, just making shit up today, says Jason Miller. And then Rudy Giuliani. Do not use the law firm of Swain and Viebeck. They are the WAPO activists who falsely wrote that we changed our case in Pennsylvania. They didn't read paragraph 132 through 150, which repeat all of the allegations of the 6,000 or 680,777 mail-in votes, which were deliberately concealed from Republican inspectors. The only thing that would have surprised me is if Philly didn't cheat on a big scale in the 2020 election. It would have been the first time they missed such an opportunity in 60 years. Wake up to reality. Way to go, Rudy, laying it on the line. Tim Murtaugh. This story is completely erroneous. Our lawsuit in Pennsylvania absolutely still makes an issue of the 682,479 mail-in and absentee ballots that were counted in secret systems. You're on double secret probation. Yes. Yeah, I would like to see an open recount. Yeah. Let's do it at the local arena. And I guarantee you, we could actually pay for the recount if we just, charge $2 a ticket and let the Patriots come in and count and stand, and just have them in a line walking through, and you can just walk through and, you get an hour. You get an hour to walk through and stop and watch as these people, openly count in front of you, in front of all these people. And with that $2, you get a whistle. One of those nice coaches, referees whistles, You see something suspicious, you go, talk about a tweet. This story is completely erroneous. Our lawsuit in Pennsylvania absolutely still makes an issue of the 682,479 mail-in and absentee ballots that were counted in secret. To write that we had scrapped that argument requires not reading the amended complaint. Joel B. Polak Sr. Okay, so triggering a similar response. Okay, they published Politico published a similar story to the Post. So the Trump campaign did not change what they're doing. They're continuing to fight this battle with everything that they got, and as we would expect them to. But the fake news media is gonna twist it and turn it and lie to you every which way they can, so that there's nothing to see here. You're just picking on us. You're using white privilege and white women's privilege, and those black guys that are standing there with you, they're Uncle Toms, and they're just bad, and you guys are so mean. You're fascists. You're racist. You're whatever they can think of at the moment, basically. Anything counts when you're people of this ilk. All right, for you folks out there in Twitch, coming to you here with the link to this last little piece here. I hope you guys do share this stuff around. I've taken to emailing a few close friends and family, and it's not necessarily because they need to be red-pilled. It's because a lot of these people just don't take the time. They know that there's something wrong, but they just won't or don't have the time to dig in it like you or I do, or maybe me. And so I, like to, give them something easy to, find some interesting articles and share that with them all. And So, let's see. Okay, that was over here on Twitter. Yeah. All right. So, all right. And then 2 hours ago, President Trump tweeted this: "Who will be running for governor of the great state of Ohio will be hotly contested." Another vaccine just announced. This was 3 hours ago. This time by Moderna, 95% effective for those great historians. Please remember that these great discoveries, which will end the China plague, all took place on my watch. And then again, try watching OANN. Really great. He's basically telling you that OANN News is doing a good job, according to President Trump. I don't have any TV right now. My TV is a DVD player. All right, because I just got fed up of paying for a bunch of garbage that didn't do me any good anyway. I hadn't turned the TV on to watch fake news or fake TV for several months. So I figured, why am I paying that kind of money for nothing? I'm not even using it. So I got rid of it. Moderna is owned by Soros and Fauci and others. Oh, yeah, I'm going to trust that shit. No. The fake recount going on in Georgia means nothing because they are not allowing signatures to be looked at and verified. Break the unconstitutional consent decree. And that was came out 3 hours ago. And then we also have, I won the election. Boom. Simple, straightforward. Yes, you did, sir. So that basically takes care of President Trump's tweets so far this morning. All right, on to some other news here. BLM thugs attack black mother with 2 young children. Violent mob targets a pro-Trump woman pushing a stroller. On the 15th of November, 2020, this came out. Black mother and her 2 young children were attacked on the streets of Washington, D.C. by a mob of, in quote, Black Lives Matter thugs on Saturday. BLM protesters, thugs, harassed the woman pushing a stroller through Black Lives Matter Plaza wearing a Trump jacket. I guess, Black Lives only matter if you're one of the sheeple. And, as long as you go along to get along with the rest of the sheeple, your life matters. But no, so these thugs will take on a black woman pushing a stroller. Such bravado. I'm sure they are heroes in their hometowns. Harassed the woman pushing a stroller through the Black Lives Matter wearing a Trump jacket. The attack led to a fight, leaving the 2 little girls in tears and visibly traumatized. A group of anti-Trump protesters began harassing the family on Black Lives Matter Plaza near the White House on Saturday. The family had just left the Million MAGA March. The MAGA March had reportedly just reached the Supreme Court, where they were met with BLM and Antifa counter-protesters. And the young girls were left in tears and visibly traumatized by the attack. Oh, my. The incident appeared to break out as the family and others were leaving the Freedom Plaza after listening to pro-Trump speeches. Trump lawyer drops a bomb. We have evidence to overturn results in multiple states. We knew that. Yeah. Just that, can we convince enough people that some of these mind control nut jobs out here to get off the crazy train and get on board, the sane one, the Trump train. So the pro-Trump crowd chants F Antifa in front of the Supreme Court. There are more pro-Trump people down the streets listening to speeches, and others are still walking from the Freedom Plaza. A fight just broke out as anti-Trump protesters began to follow a black pro-Trump woman walking through BLM Plaza with her children. One person was detained. One of the little girls began to cry after the altercation. This is happening in our nation's capital. This is happening right in our nation's capital. I mean, that's when I was back in D.C., I was actually disappointed at the condition of our capital city, the beacon of this country. Was in such disrepair. The roads are crap. There are definitely parts of that city that you do not go. Unfortunately, there were times I had to because of my duties there as a recruiter. But a video tweeted by Daily Caller journalist Shelby Talcott shows the woman and her young daughter walking down a street in Washington, D.C., pushing a baby stroller. A woman to the right can be seen taking cell phone pictures of the family. Get the F away from my family, the mother says as the others begin to crowd around her. The mother continues yelling as a man and a woman approach her family from behind. A man with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag steps in and attempts to intervene in the conflict the video shows. The woman attempts to steal the flag from the man and a fight breaks out. Another Daily Caller video shows the danger of BLM protesters put the family in. During the fight, the man with the flag is pushed backward and falls on a young girl. D.C. Metro Police officers quickly moved in from where they had been observing the situation develop and attempted to separate the group, according to Breitbart. As the fight develops, the mother moves her kids to a safe position and yells at police to arrest the woman involved. The police can be seen placing a man in handcuffs who started throwing punches at the man with the flag. So here we have Black Lives Matter nut job here. And, the family was set up by a mob of Black Lives Matter thugs. The videos end showing the preteen girls screaming in terror as they watch the scene unfold. In a video showing the aftermath, a man wearing an F racism shirt yells at the black woman, "Why did you bring your kid here?" Well, why shouldn't she be able to bring her kid here? Because of, goons like these people. I mean, we have a country where adults can't go, and then they get on the case of a mother who is walking through our nation's capital with her children in a stroller. There should be no place in this country that is safer. They should all be equally safe. But this is our nation's capital. This is folks, we got a problem. This is coming right out of the seat of the government, at which these people espouse to be the ones that tell us how to live our lives. They can't even conduct a city, much less the country. This is what you get. And we have President Trump out there trying to rein this in. But his authority only goes so far. The rest of it has to be done by us. Because it really is we the people. And we've got to take it back. You need to press charges, another woman says. I want to press charges, the mother responded. One of the officers responded that he was going to lock up everyone involved in the attack on the family. Well, good for him. I hope he does. But what will probably happen is, they will, quickly see a judge. Somebody running in from Black Lives Matter will say, if there's any bail, we'll pay it. George is giving us a very, very healthy allowance to make sure that happens. And, these perpetrators will be back on the streets in no time to continue their subversive activities. So, this we can't see the end of this soon enough. We cannot see the end of this soon enough because this country has more important things to do than deal with these people, and these people need to be just, removed and held accountable and do their time. And while we've got them locked up, let's get this country squared away. Let's get people back to work. Let's have Thanksgiving where we can enjoy our families. Let's have Christmas where families again can get together and celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Let's just get on with our lives and put the government in the position that was always intended to be in, and that is of the people, for the people, by the people. Okay? All right. Oh, I don't have any wish. CNN's Jake Tapper. Christmas is probably not going to be possible this year. Oh, wouldn't they just love that? Large indoor gatherings are discouraged in the battle against the viral disease. CNN State of the Union host Jake Tapper suggested during a Sunday interview with Dr. Anthony Fauci that Christmas is, in quote, probably not going to be possible, as he was, wiggling with excitement in his chair at the possibility of shutting down Christmas during the, over the holidays. I'm sure he's going to shut down his Christmas this year, as medical experts warn of COVID-19 cases, COVID-19 spikes caused by widespread indoor holiday gatherings. Oh, yes. That infamous, horrible, time of year where people gather together indoors because, frankly, the weather's kind of getting a little inclement to do it outdoors. Case numbers for COVID-19 continues to rise in several states across the country, tampering the hopes of millions of Americans seeking to restore a sense of normality with the upcoming holidays. Dr. Fauci, who serves as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, told CNN's Jake Tapper on Sunday that even with widespread distribution of a vaccine, the public, in quote, can't abandon fundamental public health measures. Wash your hands and wipe your ass after you. Okay. Anyway, specifically social distancing and mask wearing. Yeah, right. Yeah, you need a diaper on your face. In quote, you can approach a degree of normality while still doing some fundamental things like synergize with the vaccine to get us back to normal. Fauci, vomited out of his mouth. Tapper noted that based on Dr. Fauci's recommendations, which are expected to extend into the, end quote, the second or third quarter of 2021, really? Kraken may have something to say about that. End quote, Christmas is probably not going to be possible. Yeah. End quote, I would recommend to people not to abandon all public health measures just because you've been vaccinated. Yes, the infamous vaccine. Fauci said, end quote, because even though the general population, it might be 90 or 95% effective, you don't necessarily know for you how effective it is. Oh, so it might or might not be effective. And, we might or might not get the coronavirus, but even a mask won't stop it. So, how many of these things need to line up in the column of who gives a rip because nothing that we're doing is working? And if nothing that we're doing is working, then why the hell are we going through, are you just climbing the mountain because it's there and it's 150 degrees out and you're still going to climb the mountain when tomorrow's forecast is for 50 and partly cloudy? Good day to climb a mountain, by the way. Not too cold, not too warm. Yeah. I can feel more relaxed in essentially not having this stringency that we have right now. But I think abandoning it is completely, it completely would not be a good idea. Yeah, just, yeah, get rid of your masks. Not a good idea. No. Keep them available. We got something around the corner. We're not sure what it is. We'll figure it out when we, yeah. Fauci told Yahoo News last month that people will have to make, in quote, their individual choice. Our wonderful governor here in Washington State made the statement that when he very first time he came out with this mask mandate back at the beginning of all this craziness, he wasn't wearing a mask. And when he was asked, Governor Inslee, why aren't you wearing a mask? And he very clearly and very pointedly pointed out that he was exercising his individual rights. Individual rights. Aha. Yes. Very important. See, because here in the state of Washington, we do celebrate your individual rights, and it's ensconced in our state constitution. And so when they come up with this massive lockdown, and those of us that prefer to not wear a mask, and because I'm exercising my individual freedom, my individual rights, as guaranteed to me in the state Washington, the Washington State Constitution, then I want to see these folks, and the governor, he stood behind it the day he made his announcement. So I think that should be good enough for me. I mean, if the governor is going to do that, yeah, but he put a mask on later. Well, I'm sorry, doesn't count. He still made the point of individual rights, otherwise known as your unalienable rights, however you want to say it. Rights given to us by God. Okay. Fauci told Yahoo News last month that people will have to make their individual choice when it comes to celebrating Thanksgiving and visiting family. At the time, he said that hopefully by Christmas, yeah, sure, the situation will be different. Each individual family needs to make the decision based on the risk situation in their own family, he explained. Yeah, put your family at risk. Yeah, they throw that in there, a little bit of fear porn to, make you go, if somebody in my family gets sick with this, did I do it? What a freaking guilt trip. This is cruel. This is cruel and inhuman, to be quite honest. I've seen it used by many, many people in my own family, as a matter of fact, on occasion. His comments came after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, posted an update to its COVID-19 related Thanksgiving guidance. Overall, the agency said staying home is the best way to protect yourself and others. End quote. But if you must travel, to be aware of the risks involved. Yeah, you might have an accident on the way, and if you have icy roads, make sure you have good tires on your car. Have some emergency food on board the car, some emergency gear, depending on the type of winter weather that is normal for the area that you're traveling through. Make sure you have a communication device and a good spare tire, good tires in your car maintained. Those are things that you should be made aware of, and minimize the risks as much as possible. All right. The agency states a low-risk way to celebrate this year would be to have a small dinner with only the people who live in your household, and preparing meals for higher-risk friends and family that can be delivered. By whom? Who's going to be the nutcase that's going to go out there and Yeah, Dee Haugen. It stopped taking the guilt trip bus a long time ago. Yeah. They love that guilt bus. The agency states a low risk way to celebrate the year. Okay. And you can have, let's have a Thanksgiving dinner virtually on Zoom. Oh, doesn't that sound like fun? Oh, yes. and we can have a separate computer set up, and we can have the kids Zoom. Okay, and yeah, sounds just like, gosh, you remember that year we did Thanksgiving on Zoom? Oh yeah, that was so special. Yeah, yeah, it was just so special. I could just imagine smelling the turkey roasting, because, well, we didn't have a turkey, so we were doing sandwiches, but we told everybody it was turkey. We had turkey sandwiches, yes, from the deli at the restaurant. Yeah. Yeah, it was so cool. And remember when we heard Aunt Alice, and I know it was she that did that. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I've been around Aunt Alice before. Yeah, yeah, she does that. Yeah, sharing memories. The one thing about Zoom, you can record the meeting. Yeah, you can record the meeting, play it back for everybody. Oh, that'll be special. That'll be so special. Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud. This is just oh my goodness. So yeah, that story, we'll put that out there in the chat for you guys. Yeah, please pass the jelly. Thank you for that, Diana. That was a good one. Pass the stuffing. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You got the one family that did the whole thing, right? They did the turkey and the stuffing and everything else. And the ones that didn't get to show up there, no, they're having chicken noodle soup and sandwiches. Yeah. Yeah, that's where they come up with this stuff. Where do these people actually get off in trying to pass this stuff off? And when are the sheep going to wake up and tell these people to take a flying leap and a rolling donut? Okay? I mean, seriously. All kidding aside, let's dump this crap. Let's dump this crap where the sun don't shine. And let's not ever, ever go back here again. This is just insanity. Oklahoma cop responds to house fire call and finds his own home burning. Rescues the family. An officer ran through the flame engulfed porch to rescue his family. This happened when I clicked on it 6 hours ago, I guess. Police officer in Oklahoma sustained serious burns last Friday after he responded to reports of a house fire, only to find his own home burning with his family still inside, according to authorities. Officer Anthony Louie of the Seminole Police Department, located about 50 miles east of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, entered the burning home in the early hours of November 13th and rescued his entire family from the blaze, according to a Facebook post by the area's Fraternal Order of Police. Upon entering the residence, he had to run through the flame engulfed porch, and in doing so, sustained serious burns and smoke inhalation injuries, wrote Seminole Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 138. Officer Louie's family was not physically injured due to his bravery and quick action. The condition of Louie is unknown at this time, and it's not clear what ignited the blaze. Many Seminole residents, upon hearing of his actions, reached out to provide clothing and household items that were lost in the fire, according to the Seminole Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 138 Facebook page. The overwhelming support received for Officer Louie has been amazing, and his family and fellow officers wish to thank each and every person for their thoughts and prayers, a social media post added. That is, you don't hear it very often, but every now and then you do hear about something where an officer is called to the scene of an incident, and it involves a member of their own family. that to me would be one of the worst things to ever happen to a police officer. And I know of a situation that happened here in Washington State not long ago, where a police officer was called to the scene of an accident. The accident was a fatality accident, and when he got there, he found his daughter was the fatality. You know, God, can you imagine? Can you imagine going to the scene of an accident, having dealt with them so often, and going to the scene of an accident and find out that you're responding to an accident of, your daughter being fatally injured in an accident. Nothing would be more horrible. I mean, fatality accident. I mean, these guys, they deal with them a lot, and you put yourself, you don't become personally involved. If you do, you're not going to last long as a police officer if you become too emotionally involved in situations like that. So they learn to compartmentalize that stuff and deal with it in other ways. But when it's your own family member, there is absolutely no way that you compartmentalize that. What a tragedy. In this case, only some burns, some damaged property, and everybody's gonna come out the other side doing all right. All right. Well, I have managed to while away the last 4 hours with you folks, and I couldn't think of a better way to do it, more fun way to do it. And I really want to, just let you guys know I love y'all. You guys are awesome. It's been a fantastic morning, and more stuff coming. Because we got. Well, I want to remind everybody to make sure to join us tonight for Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive starts at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Adjust for your time zones, please. And also a note to you folks, if you missed Connecting the Dots yesterday, fantastic show with Mary Morton and Alan Jones from American Republic, I think is the name of their website and the outfit that they write stories for. But they had a fantastic show yesterday, and I have uploaded that show. That show has been now uploaded on my YouTube channel. That is Smoke Clear YouTube channel on YouTube. Go there and you can catch yesterday's Connecting the Dots, which I would highly recommend. It's a fantastic show that Dan pulled together yesterday, as he normally does. If you guys don't catch Dan's show, Connecting the Dots, really ought to try, because Dan has so many people that he taps through his association with the Red Pill Expos and his association, long association with G. Edward Griffin, that he definitely pulls in some amazing guests. But if you want to go check out yesterday's show from Connecting the Dots, you can find that on my Smoke Clear YouTube channel, and get over there and check it out. All right. Again, I want to say thank you for joining me today, and we've got Nurse Net, No Regrets, and T Jams all getting lined up, ready to go. And I'm going to play a little song here to get the heck out of here and turn it over to the gals. So Let's see here. What are we going to go with today? Let's go with this one. Good old, nice song. All right, guys. Thank you so much. God bless. We'll see you tonight on Hyperdrive, and I'll be back tomorrow for more straight shooting. Here we go.
Driving down the street today, saw a sign for lemonade. They were the cutest kids I'd ever seen in that front yard. As they handed me my glass, I smiled thinking to myself, man, what a picture perfect postcard this would make of America. It's a high school prom, it's a Springsteen song, it's a ride in a Chevrolet. It's a man on the moon and fireflies in June and kids selling lemonade. It's cities and farms, it's open arms, one nation under God. It's America. Later on when I got home, I flipped the TV on. Saw a little town that some big twister tore apart. People came from miles around just to help their neighbors out. And I was thinking to myself, I'm so glad that I live in America. It's a high school prom, it's a Springsteen song, it's a ride in a Chevrolet. It's a man on the moon and fireflies in June and kids selling lemonade. It's cities and farms, it's open arms, one nation under God. It's America. Now we don't always get it all right, but there's no place else I'd rather build my life. It's a kid with a chance, it's a rock and roll band, it's a farmer cutting hay. It's a big flag flying in the summer wind over a fallen hero's grave. It's a high school prom, it's a Springsteen song, it's a welcome home parade. It's a man on the moon and fireflies in June and kids selling lemonade. It's cities and farms, it's open arms, one nation under God. It's America. It's America. Hey, yeah, yeah. It's America. It's America.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. God bless. TJ.
There.
There, I'm going to throw you the ball.
All right. Okay, got it.
Touchdown.
That was a really lousy catch if you didn't notice, but
It was a lousy throw.
it was lousy both. Okay, good. Awesome show. What I caught of it as usual. And we have some
Thank
amazing,
you.
been working really hard for the past hour or so, putting it together and looking forward to sharing with everybody the latest, greatest, interesting news. Oh, and I even got my backdrop. Hopefully it reads right. I haven't got the screen up yet to see if I need to mirror that or not, but
You're perfect.
is it? Oh, good.
Yeah.
So backwards for us, it's good for them. That's something I've needed to figure out for a long time. So wonderful.
Yeah, don't try to poke your eye with using that as an example. You'll get the other eye.
Your arm, poker arm. I don't know. I'll have to turn you up. I can't hear real well, actually, Rit. So, with that, enough of that said, we'll get out of the technical spots. We've got Nurse Net back today from Florida. She should be nice and tan. No regrets. Back.
That didn't happen.
Oh.
I left thinking I was going to get away from it, and guess what? The weather was better here in Ohio than it was in Florida. Our last day, we had a nice day, but we had a good time though.
Well, you got away, right?
Yeah, I got away, and somebody said they were getting ready to call me and say, "Don't come back," because DeWine decided he was going to put restrictions on us if I came home. And I'm like, "Oh, you have got to be kidding me," you know. But of course, they didn't call me, and I came back. In other words, I probably could have stayed, you know.
Real.
Yeah, such is life these days. Crazy.
Yep. It's going to change, though. We've got some major cracks happening.
To say the least.
So, all right. Well, good to see you here in one piece, happy and ready to go. We'll do our intro. We'll be right back.
You know, I've been hearing more and more about a thing called fake news. Fake news. I've seen people destroyed, and I think it's very unfair. Some of the media outlets that I deal with the fake news. Fake news. I think it's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, but I don't think they care. Well, first of all, one of the reasons I'm here today is to tell you the whole Russian thing, that's a ruse. It's a ruse. I own nothing in Russia. I don't have any deals in Russia. Russia is fake news. I just see many, many untruthful things. The press has become so dishonest. The public doesn't believe you people anymore. You have a lower approval rate than Congress. You know, I've been hearing more and more about a thing called fake news. Fake news. I've seen people destroyed, and I think it's very unfair. Some of the media outlets that I deal with the fake news. Fake news. I think it's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, but I don't think they care. I'll tell you something, I don't mind bad stories. I can handle a bad story better than anybody as long as it's true. But I'm not okay when it is fake. It's all fake news. I mean, it's a story after story after story. We're not going to let it happen again. The public gets it. When I go to rallies, they want to throw their placards to CNN. Here's the thing. I want to see an honest press. I want to see an honest press. I want to see an honest press. It's so important to see an honest press.